And good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Marlon Davidson is done for the year with a bicep tear. In fact, the Titans worked out today former Browns defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. The last time that you saw him on the football field, he was winning a championship in the USFL with the Birmingham Stallions. And if you think being a kicker isn't lucrative, as just a few minutes ago, we found out that the Browns have agreed to a 3-year, $16.5 million contract extension. I actually said Browns. I meant Bengals because Kevin McPherson is not a Brown because he can make his kicks. So he is a Bengal, and they just agreed to a brand new deal. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Welcome in to 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, locked in on this Good Friday. The energy is high. The heat is out there. It's knocking on your car doors. It's knocking on your doors at home, the windows, and more and more. I don't know what you're going to do, but you better get ready. Get hydrated, people. Please stay hydrated on this Good Friday. Make sure you join in with us, man, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Hey, there you go. Man, listen. Now, we got a little complication, a little bit of traffic, but you ain't gonna know it. Yorl will be here in just a second. Babs will be here in just a second. But I got my dog sitting in with me right now. Moonshine Marc Mariani. What's up, baby?
Let's go, baby.
It's us, baby.
Hey, it's just us,
it's just
man.
high energy, baby.
Lock the doors. We're going to do 3 hours right now.
That's right,
the
man.
Boys.
It's going down,
Brett,
man.
Don, if you're listening, you can turn around. We got it covered.
Get off, go back home. We got it, baby.
Happy Friday.
Hell yeah, happy Friday, man. Hope everybody's enjoying it. You got the Titans game taking place tomorrow, preseason game, the second one, going against the Seattle Seahawks. Should be live. The energy was there for the fans coming out and supporting. Gonna see a little bit more of the 2s and the 3s, according to Coach Callie this week. So we're gonna see how that goes. Get to see Malik. Could it be, some jockeying for some trade position? Heard people talking about that earlier. I'm not sure. I just think he deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
In my opinion,
yes.
I don't think there's jockeying for trade position. I think there's some jockeying for a quarterback battle in the backup spot, man.
Like that.
I tell you what, man, Malik, this offseason, this training camp, he's looked a little different, man. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if it's the system.
New regime.
I saw him early on, and then was it last week? 10 days ago during the family night at Nissan Stadium, he blew the roof off that place, man. And I'll tell you what, they come out yesterday and say Malik's getting all the snaps. It isn't trade bait, man. Yeah. I think he's earning those reps, man. I'm happy for him. He's gone through a lot in his couple years here, and the one thing I've noticed through all else's camp is he throws a hell of a ball, man. And so if he can get everything else figured out, he's made some nice plays. So I think we got a little heating up backup competition, backup quarterback competition going on. So it'll be fun to see tomorrow night.
He has looked much better, man. We want to have you guys weigh in on it. What are you looking forward to seeing this Saturday in the preseason game? Another night game. We're getting all our night games out the way, folks, because, we're going at noon. High noon. We're going at high noon during the season. But the tailgate is on the way back, too. I need to throw that out there. The Titans VIP tailgate will be back at the Bridge Building. So I know the parking lot is how it's looking. We got the construction underway for the new stadium. You got to understand, if you lost your spot, I got a spot for you. Come on over there to the Bridge Building 3 hours before every game. It's locked and loaded, Moonshine. Like, this is an experience. You may not make it to the game is what I want people to know. But you're going to have a good time.
I was about to say, if you're looking for anything pregame, and you know this man right here, Ron Slay, he throws a banger pregame. If you're wondering, if you're on a Sunday morning, a little hungover Saturday, or if you're coming from church and you ain't ready for the hype, you walk into Slay's tailgate at the Bridge Building, and I'll tell you, you gonna get right.
Come on, man.
You gonna get right on noon before kickoff at the Bridge Building, man. You don't got no choice. But don't be walking in there tentative though.
No.
When you walk through those doors, it's basically game day. It's game time. Game time. Those doors open. You hear Slay on the mic.
Yeah,
we rolling.
Yeah, it's already. It's all going down, man. And guess what? It is family friendly. You're on the 3rd floor. You got Xboxes, PS5s for the kids where they can stay occupied while the parents go from 1st floor to 2nd floor to 4th floor, having parties, having drinks, dancing, auctions. It's a whole vibe, man. So get that 3 hours before. We'll put out more. We'll be giving tickets away this year too. But outside of that, Mariani, I got a little beef with you, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't even like bringing this to my boy. I don't like bringing this to my homeboy.
That's how we start the show around here. We clean up we got to take care of our business on the front end. Like that.
That's right. So let me go and get this out there. I heard that you were at practice.
Oh, man.
And I didn't I saw pictures floating around on social media. Marc being a man of the people. Cosell came in saying, man, I went and picked Cosell up to bring him in for his interview. First thing he said when he got in the truck, man, I met Marc Mariani. Great guy, man. I'm like, where'd you see him at? He was like, at practice. I was like, come on.
Dude.
I was out there sweating and everything, and I didn't see my guy Moonshine. But with that being said, would you like to clear the air on that before we get into what you took away from it?
More than anything, I'm just pissed, bro, because you'd have made my day. I mean, golly, I can't believe that. Yeah, I mean, I came early.
Yeah,
it was hot. I was sweating, but I stayed the whole time. I'm shocked, dude.
Like you were supposed to.
But yeah, no, that makes me very angry that we didn't cross paths. But I'll tell you, I met Cosell, man, and I was like. I didn't recognize him because I just know his voice.
Right.
And my buddy Matt Castle was like, hey, this is Greg Cosell. And dude, I didn't know what to do. I just bear hugged him. I'm just like, Cosell, I love you, man. See? I listen to you every week. I love you. He's like, yeah, that iconic voice. He's like, yeah, all I do is sit. That's not how you do it. How do you do it? Well, I can't even do it. Yeah. But he's like, all I do is sit in my office and watch tape for the last 45 years.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm like, wow, dude, you know a lot of football. And I was like, come here, I listen to you all the time. Hug, brother. Yeah. But no, it was a great day, man. It was fun. And I tell you, I can't remember who told me, but they're like, yeah, this is the last joint practice that we'll be allowing people and fans or whatever too. And those joint practices, man, if there's anything that gets me fired up, dude, besides coming on here on Friday afternoon, is those joint practices, man. And it is hot and it is fiery, and everybody's like at 210 degrees, right? And it's like 2 degrees more, and we're gonna boil over.
We're going down.
You walk out the locker room at about 209. Hey, listen, I was talking to some of the old coaches about this, and some other people, Coach Fish even.
Yeah,
and. You know, everybody, all the coaches, you want just good work. You want to try to keep it under wraps, whatever. But guys have been battling each other in the same uniform for so long, one. And two, I feel like nowadays, and even back when I was playing too, I don't want to call it a badge of honor or something, but you basically know you fighting on joint practices.
Yes. At some point it's going down.
And it's just kind of ridiculous because you shouldn't be walking on the field going, who am I fighting? Who am I fighting? It's like, hey, if I start a fight today, I'm going to get good feel. Like, it's so, but honestly, you just, everybody's chirping, everybody's on it. It's like from the moment. So here's what's crazy, and you found out with the New York Giants and the I can't remember who they were joint practice with, but it was Malik Neighbors. Yep. But guess who's passing down fines?
The Lions.
Guess who's passing down fines now? The league.
Yeah.
The league's throwing them at you. Yeah. So it isn't anymore. And they took what I understood, and this could be just social media BS, but what I took from it is they took videos from like the social media stuff that they were watching and find off those videos from the top down, and they find the Giants and they find the Lions for fighting because of all the negative attention it got, and so they're now they're trying to police it from the top up, which kind of changes things a little bit because now you're like, nah, never mind. I ain't trying to eat that fire.
And this coming from the league. This ain't the team. This is the league.
Yeah, but regardless, man, the joint practice and any more with kind of phasing out a preseason game, and obviously Coach Callie's been resting all the starters. Those joint practices are where you get your bulk of your work now in the preseason. And that's the way it should be. I love that because it's controlled. You can control the situation. You control the down and distance. You can make a lot of red zone plays. You can do a lot of 2-minute. You get control of all those situations. We're in the normal game flow. You may not hit everything you need to, but man, that just means that like I said, the temperature's turned up out on that football field, and you got two teams that were feisty, and it was hot out there, and so it was fun to watch. We had some pads thumping yesterday. It was fun to be around it.
Always good to see, man. I got a story I'm gonna share with you too, man, about what Coach Mac told me. Me and him got to stand in the end zone and kind of break down the play, watching the receiver, Traylon Burks, my guy. You know what I'm saying,
bro? But we got to talk about that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we got to talk about that too.
We got to talk about that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we got some more to talk about.
Yes, we do. Zelf, you got some Titans transactions for us?
Yes, I do.
Give it to us.
Today, they signed defensive lineman Abdullah Anderson, and they placed Marlon Davidson on the IR with torn bicep. I think he tore that earlier this week. Anderson has spent time in Chicago, Minnesota, Green Bay, Atlanta, was in Washington last year. Only has like 3 career sacks to his name. So just some depth piece there for Tennessee as they lose another depth piece in Davidson.
All right, that's cool. So that's your Titans transaction news right there for you. Anything else that you guys want to share, make sure you hit us up, 615-737-1045. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Now, you got to understand, the fearless leader, your mayor, Brent Dorder, he'll be in here just a second. Also, Babs, it's a little bit of traffic on 65 coming in. So take your time. Don't be honking your horn. Mariani already told you it's hot outside. Don't you get to 212. We don't want you to get to 212 degrees, man, and come in here and you boiling over. That's not what we need, man. But we also got Josh Ward coming up a little later today to give us some Vols news. Know what's going on up there on the hill. There was a closed practice yesterday. Nico did not participate. Woke up with a stomach bug, so we'll be able to tap into that. Other than that, we're open for you on Get Fried Fridays and Trash Talk Friday. Seattle Seahawks will be coming to the door in Nissan. We got to bring it to them. But for now, don't nobody panic. Don't break glass. It's not an emergency. You got Moonshine and Big Slate right here. We running 3HL right now. I'm a matter of fact, Moonshine, you think you can kind of put that chair up under the door so when
we lock it.
Yeah, we lock
the door.
We lock the door. Nobody's getting in, man. There we
go. You better
go.
turn that volume up, baby. Turn that volume up in your car. It's going to get crazy on this Friday afternoon.
And let me tell you about getting crazy. So I'm out there watching. Now, we all know I didn't play professionally with football or collegiate football, but I did play in high school, and I got a football soul. So Coach Mac comes over, and he's mic'd up, and he's watching Traylon Burks. He's like, come on over here with me. I want you to sit here and break it down. You the president of the fan club? I say, that's right, I'm the active president of the fan club.
That's right.
So I'm going over here with you. We get over there, and right then, the trenches had got it was a little dust up. Latham and Big Leonard, they got into it a little bit. The helmet came off. Rand came out of nowhere and, pushed Latham back. I'm thinking, Rand, you got your fullback days in. Forget a running back.
He liked that.
That was all right right there. But I'm telling Coach
Looking for
Mac,
that action.
like, hey, man, this is it. Like, this is what I miss. Even in basketball, preseason, they call them friendly games over in Europe. But exhibitions and things like it, this is it. The spirit of competition, it boils to a different level like you were talking about. And we're going to get into what you see coming back. And he was like, man, I just left Marc. I told Marc, you got to calm down, Moonshine. Don't you come out here acting like that. I'm going to have to grab you. He came over there to me and said, you're a basketball player. Now, why am I having to tell you the same thing?
Oh, my gosh,
it was
bro.
Something else.
I was watching it. I was watching it all, and I think it was Coach Mac and I, and, I think I saw Timmy Hasselback and Maddie Hasselback were out there, and one of them broke out, but it was on in between the two fields. Yeah. And I'm like, sitting in my seat. I'm like, hey, bring it over here. I need it on this sideline. I'll break it up. I'll get in there, man. I need it right now. I need it.
That was it.
Hey, and you ain't lying, man. That's I tell you. That's why I decided, hey, I got to get over there during these joint practices because, man, first of all, I mean, there's no secret about it.
Right.
Like I'm kind of a psycho, and I miss it so bad.
Yeah.
I was a small town Montana boy, living my dream, man, and every one of those practices was like my thing. But that's what I was saying. You can feel the competition, you can feel the chirping, you can feel the like dog and people come out. Where football's an interesting game, man. There's 11 guys on the field, but at the same time, like when you're talking about Traylon and his man, you line up on the line of scrimmage and you looking within 12 inches of a guy and you're staring him in the eyes. Yeah. And it's like mano and mano, baby. And if that doesn't get your juices flowing, my guy, I mean, come on now. Yeah. I'm about to freaking jump out of this studio. So anyway, seeing that and hearing the pads thump, that's why you got to go out and check it out, man.
That's what it's about.
Freaks.
That's what it's about. 615-737-1045, man. Pierce through the soul of the eyes of the man. This is 3HL. We'll be right back. All right, good people, listen to me. Holistic stem cell therapy. You need to get back feeling good, man, feeling great. Give your body and your cells the opportunity to be the solution. Now, everybody knows anybody can deal with inflammation. It doesn't have to be athletes, just people, ordinary lives, man, going along with the business, 9-to-5 jobs, whatever it is. You like working in the garden, or you like doing things with your kids. You're a coach on the weekends. You may be officiating, whatever it is. Get that inflammation out of your body. All you got to do is go to Kellum Stem Cell Institute. I'm telling you this because I went through it. My knee, my hip, and my shoulder. My shoulder especially, man. I'm a guy that likes to sleep on my side, so it was waking me up in the middle of the night. Inflammation was just tearing me up. Had to get that taken care of. This is the number I called, 615-850-4415. 615-850-4415. I set it up with Dr. Kellum, talked to him one-on-one. He gave me all the answers I was looking for. I told him, let's get to it. Knock the inflammation right out of my body. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
Welcome back in 3HL 1045 The Zone. Babsy and I made it in right behind each other.
Yes, a quick shout out to anybody stuck on the interstates. Be patient. 65 both ways is a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah, 65 north, south of the city, there was a really, really bad accident. Don't know if vehicles have been cleared, but the investigation was going on, let's say. And so prayers up to anyone that was involved in that, friends, family, medical personnel, emergency
crime
personnel.
Scene was there. They had already spray painted the road. They only do that when there are critical injuries. So,
right. So anyway, yes, we did hear you guys talking about locking us out.
Yeah. What's up with that?
We was trying, man.
Look at him.
What did I tell you?
Look at them. They're just sitting over there, shoulder to shoulder. Look at them. Like they're best friends. Bosom buddies, like Tom Hanks.
Stepbrothers.
My whole career.
Best friends that anyone could have.
When you see a sliver, when that sun shines through and I see a sliver of opportunity, you bust that door down, baby.
That's right.
And I saw my chance, baby. There were 2 empty seats in this. I'm staying. You ain't never getting me out of here.
So Babs and I were talking as we were sitting in traffic, and I was like, well, good day for Mariani to be here from 3 to 4.
I know.
Help Slay Dog out a little bit.
By the way, I did see in the chat, everyone's like, well, how in the heck did Slay get there on time and those two didn't? That's because Slay was already in town to go eat.
Yeah, I like to get my little lunch. I had a nice little Rafferty. Shout out to them. That chicken tender salad with the honey mustard is phenomenal.
You love some Rafferty's.
Yeah, it's the salad. I'm telling you right now, man.
He loves his salad with like 8 different sauces.
And it's a lot of it, too. Extra, they bring me the regular little container, then they bring me a huge one. Instead of bringing like 4
They should
of
just
them,
bring you the vat.
That would work.
Here's your
I'll take it
vat
home.
of sauces
take it
for
home
your
with me.
salad.
No ramekins for Slay Dog. You need fats.
And the honey butter croissants. Shout out to them.
Those.
Extra honey butter ice.
Oof, that is not on the approved eating list.
If you're going to eat salad, might as well do all that stuff, too.
Me in the bathroom are
Look
well
at you.
acquainted.
Well, you just get the like check the box of like I ate real healthy today. At lunch I had the biggest, greenest salad ever. Oh yeah, what was on it? A vat of dressing.
A whole lot of it.
But you make yourself feel. I mean, hey, that's
Hey,
great.
but this is my thing about sauces too, man. Let me just tell the people this. It runs through you. Like sauces just don't sit on you. So anything you ate, you know what I mean? You in
That's too
the
much
bathroom, you
info.
gotta have a nice little
That's too much info.
you gotta keep dude wipes.
That you can't.
Don't tell them that. Oh my God. Everybody know I keep dude wipes.
Yeah,
I said
What? I heard a funny dude wipe story
Wait,
very
what?
fair.
when I was in. Where was I?
You know
Bristol?
they got the
Yeah, I
full
was in
ones like
Bristol.
for people that miss showers too.
Ooh, I don't know about all that.
No, I'm not saying
Oh, I might need that.
And now we don't have to take showers because dude wipe makes extra
When
large.
it comes out the package, it's like huge.
Half a body's up?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear Babs?
What?
I might need those.
Every once in a while she'll come in here like, man, I really need to take a shower.
But they are good though. I'm telling you, though, like you spill something in the car, or you got something on you, you got to get off.
Or you have a toddler.
Yeah, I'm
So,
telling you.
Mark,
baby wipes.
while you're here, you can get to 5 wide receivers real fast.
Oh yeah.
So Cincinnati, I think, kept 6 when they made their final cuts last year with this group.
I feel like you can get to 6.
Yeah.
Well, who's the
I was
6th? Six to me is Jaquan Jackson.
Yeah, I'm checking the box with him.
Well, who you keeping at returner then? If he's
Jaquan?
6.
Him.
Well, what about if you're only keeping 5?
Or I go with your plan
I like Kyrus though.
I know.
and,
Both of them making plays.
throw your boy. 16.
I don't know if there's no room for him back there now in the role he's taking over.
Yeah. See, that's true, and we might have to dive in deep on that now.
Oh,
Here we go. So here are the
jersey's
5.
out.
Here are the 5.
Speaking
DeAndre
of
Hopkins,
honey mustard.
DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook, Akine. There's 5.
That's
then you've
crazy.
got Jaquan Jackson, Colton Dowell's out, Kyrus Jackson, Kyle Phillips, Mason Kinsey. You want to talk about? I heard y'all talking about chirping. You want to talk about chirp? Like
Oh, he was in it.
Mason Kinsey might be the most chirping dude on the field.
He was live.
That is great.
Were you that way too?
I wasn't.
No.
You wouldn't have seen that out of me on joint practice like that. Maybe a little bit, but game day, it was a little different. Because when you are playing in the slot, I guess anytime you have a wide receiver DB matchup, if the DB's traveling, but usually I was playing in the slot and I played against the same DB every snap. When they put the nickel in, it'd be the same guy. So I'd have the same matchup for 20 to 30 plays a game, and that gets fun. That gets fun because then you just see a lot too much of each other. So then I only got mic'd up a couple times, and I'm glad there was only a little bit of evidence because it's just, I was the same. I was the same way on the field as I am when I have the first 10 minutes of my own radio show. Okay, I get a little excited. But,
Bring in the energy.
Yeah,
you two are like the best friends ever now.
We had a ball in him, man. I'm telling you. You should have seen it during the break.
Oh, it was crazy.
So the reason why I say that about Jaquan Jackson, on Wednesday, he caught two balls, little short routes, and beat everybody to the end zone for 2 long touchdowns.
Well, here's the deal.
He just ran away from people.
The top 5 who were pretty solid with, you didn't name a punt returner, kick returner. So somebody's going to get a roster spot if and when they earn that spot. And if it's not
so that's the 6th guy.
Well, if it's not a black and white decision on who that guy is, if you're still kind of on the fence, you better be able to do a whole lot of stuff. And I think
And special teams.
Yeah. And it's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be hard. I think it's going to be a hard decision, and I love that. I love that for the depth of that room because we haven't been having to worry about that for a while.
So could they keep 7 because of that?
Well, here's my thing.
Oof.
I think the last few practices,
3 running backs, how many tight ends? Like you can start doing it positionally and come up with 53.
I don't think they.
I think 6.
You can't keep 7.
I think 6 is the number, and I'll tell you. I really have loved Jaquan Jackson this season. I think he's also. Everyone's been talking about him this week.
Preseason game, too.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough, but all I do know is that when you keep consistently making plays like that, and there's a coach watching that film, right, and a GM, and they have the clicker in their hand. Our old adage when I was playing in Chicago was make them hit rewind, right? You want that guy's hitting the clicker. He might not even know what number you are, who name on the back of that jersey, whatever. You want to keep that guy hitting rewind and keep getting your number on the screen, making plays and doing good things. And man, Jaquan Jackson keeps doing that. And it's not just one day. You're not just talking about him
every day.
One day.
Yep.
He keeps doing it, and then he makes a play in the game. And then he just broke somebody off in red zone 1-on-1s yesterday. I like his game. I like what I've seen. And honestly, I got to throw a little love while I have the airwaves right now. Kyle Phillips is looking good, dude. Yep. I mean, this is the guy.
With Kyle Phillips is he makes great catches, but then the video comes out of him dropping 2 punts before the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem.
You can't trust him in that position.
Well, here's the deal. I think
it might cost him a roster spot.
I think you're spot on. And I think our pass with him has probably already made it a little bit difficult. But a year ago, we were talking about, dang, these guys got to start stepping up because they're going to be in the back end of our receiver room.
Right.
Now, we have all of a sudden this luxury of this receiver room has so much depth that you can't be making plays like that. You can't be having negative
we
stuff.
haven't even mentioned Bryce Oliver in this conversation.
Yep.
And I mean, I get he's
Jackson.
an undrafted guy. I did mention Kearis,
Because he started it off on the kick return.
But there's no space for a guy like Oliver, but he has certainly shown some promise.
Right. And now you've got the expanded practice squad deal. And that's where a guy like that
there'll be room for guys on the practice squad, but I don't know. It's been fun to watch, and I love seeing playmakers. And I thought it was awesome to see both those guys make a play in the return game last Saturday. And obviously, my history with our special teams and our special teams coach, individually, that Colt Anderson that's here now. But I love this kick return, and I think
I was going to ask you that.
It has been so fun to watch, and I think we need an emphasis there. And so whoever wins that job, it's going to be a really important job this year. And you can see it already making a difference in games around the league because you get penalized for kicking touchbacks. Yeah. So you're going to have to give the teams a chance to return the ball, and it's fun to see.
To your point on the previous special teams staff, how obvious is it that it was not good? I mean, just in seeing the difference, and I know it's a different kickoff rule and whatever else, but I think it's pretty obvious that there was something lacking.
Well, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to be pretty broad about it, but being in the building a couple times this offseason, being at practice, seeing all the faces around the practice field, it feels different this year when you walk around that facility. It feels different. And
you don't see any eggshells on the floor. I
think it feels different for a lot of people. Inside the building, maybe outside the building, maybe old guys wanting to come back and be able to chill.
Even Lawan, who is well documented, variable guy, right? Like he said that same thing. For a lot of guys, it's a lot more free and
yeah. And I mean, listen, I don't know if it's going to translate, and obviously we have a lot to prove. We have 3 coordinators who have never called plays. Think about that.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And even think about it. Brian Callahan, he comes here with this big offensive expectation or whatever, like a big offensive mind. He didn't call plays in Cincinnati. I mean, Zach Taylor was called plays. Yep. So there's a lot of ironing out to do, and there's a lot of things we need to see play out. But it feels just different. It feels like guys are having fun and flying, and I think it bodes well for this team. And being a core special teams guy and being really a part of the special teams, it's in those position battles and in those roster spots that you find guys that are laying it on the line every single snap, because that's the way they're going to live and die on this football team. And so it's fun to watch those guys throw it out there. Trey Avery, little love to Trey Avery.
Yeah, yep.
Absolutely stuck a punt returner on last Saturday, and hopefully he does again. But anyway, those are the plays you need to make the team.
Marc Mariani in studio with us on 3AJ.
I think that's a great point. When you talk about the coordinators that haven't called plays, but on the flip side of that, is that why you want to go get guys that kind of understand the system that you would want to run? It's not necessarily about getting guys that you're going to develop right now, knowing that we only had, 6 picks in the draft, 5 picks in the draft, whatever it was. But being able to go get guys like a Jamal Adams, a Quandre Diggs, and then on offense, a Calvin Ridley, a Tyler Boyd, a veteran like Tony Pollard that can catch out the backfield. Because you automatically thought of, when they went and got Pollard, man, that's Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Because you can only go by what you've seen. And Callahan has only seen a Joe Mixon. He's seen what Tyler Boyd can do. He's seen what a playmaker like a Calvin Ridley can do. You know what you got in D-Hop. But then so forth and so on. You got these guys, man, and is that a security blanket for them as far as being able to say, Will Levis, listen, get it to our playmakers in this check down style offense we're going to run. Get it to the guys, short and simple. Get it to them, let them make a play, move the chains, and then we'll pop.
Well, I think you're spot on, but I also think, too, along with that, they brought in a lot of experienced coaches.
Yep.
And I mean, not just Bill Callahan, but you got Frank Bush and you got Tracy Rocker. You got some guys who have been around the block and are going to help the maturation process of these coaches.
That's right.
And so I feel good about that. And you know, I don't think it's I don't think it's a negative. I just think there's a lot to be seen. And me sitting here as the super fan, I mean, don't ask me what the Titans are odds to win the Super Bowl, because I already sprinkled a lot on it, baby. Plus 15,000. Come on. Fourth worst odds to win the Super Bowl. That's how much the odds are doubting us. Fourth worst. And, you know, I couldn't resist.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Hear that?
Oh my gosh.
One more time, baby. Colin got no roof.
Every time somebody comes in here, they end up sitting next to him
in the city
and dancing to that song.
Hey,
all my Titans with me.
Hey, listen.
Mark, why are you not this way with the Bears? Why is it just the Titans?
Don't. Hey, listen, I'll be there opening day. Don't be tripping. I'm going to Chicago opening day.
Who are you cheering for?
You know the answer to that. I already picked the Titans to go 17-0. But what I was going to say is,
you do have love for the Cubbies, though.
But I'm saying, though, I got love for the Bears too.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is, I have that attitude. And I have to check myself, because I'm like, is it just this fandom crazy? Is this how everybody always feels during the off season and during the draft stuff?
Yes.
And I think the answer is yes, but I also do believe that this year feels different. And I really believe that. I believe this year feels different.
From a starter standpoint, I think you could go through the 22 and find a really good football team. But beyond that, once you cut through the crust, what you got?
I'll tell you,
problems.
But we.
Like
there's
it's not. It's like
there's
when
not
you
a
have
lot of teams that don't have depth problems.
It's like
leave us alone.
when you have the casserole and it looks like it's
mean,
done on top, and then you cut into it, and you're like, "What is this?"
Everybody's trying to fill their depth, but I will say this. Think about.
Look at her, Mo side. She cutting her eyes this way, man,
and shaking her head.
What hit us? What is it, Babs?
I'm a little nervous, but hit us.
Look at Mark.
You just told us that you sprinkled some on the Titans to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we did.
You know, what is wrong with y'all?
We don't know.
Listen,
We don't know.
Best investment I ever made.
I love the Titans. I've been in Nashville 18 years. I consider myself a fan. But at some point, we need a little realism here.
Right.
I don't know what the hell y'all are smoking.
Well, LaWanda sat in there and said 17-0.
But yeah, he came in on gummies or something. I mean, I don't know what's
Very
going
possible.
on here. I completely understand that this team is going to be better, and I agree, better than last year.
Okay.
But I think that maybe we're getting a little too excited about a brand new coach, a brand new staff, a brand new offense that is something that Titans fans have never seen. They're going to throw the football. Oh my gosh, they actually have a deep group of wide receivers for the first time ever. No offense, Marc Mariani. You deep into that old roster, you know. You know what I mean, though, in general. But at the end of the day, we don't know what Will Levis is. There's no depth. I think the front middle part of this defense is scary, like not in a good way.
It will be.
We'll see. Secondary is going to be better.
What are you talking about? Inside linebacker?
Yes.
Oh.
But I just want to,
Yeah.
take it down a notch. And we have said, Mark, you sat in this studio last year and said, this is a rebuild for a franchise, and it's going to take more than a year.
So here's my
So
rebuttal.
we can't
and it
forget
hurt
that.
you.
She is
It hurt you to say that.
absolutely spot on. But let me tell you something.
I'm just reminding everybody there's no way that this team is going to be back in a year unless Will Levis turns into like freaking, Mahomes or something.
I think everything you said is spot on.
Stop.
Except for this.
He could be great, though, in this offense. He
you
really
just said that this team is going to be better than we were last year.
Yes.
Well, we were
I
7-10 last year. And here's where I think we're going to be this year. And I think if we're 2 games better or whatever, here's where I think we're going to be. And this is why I'm excited, because I think we are going to have some growing pains, but I think we're going to
And so is Will
exceed
Levis.
expectations. But here's the deal. I think that we're going to keep it. I think this staff brings it. I think the free agent signings bring us up, elevate us. And I think that this team is going to play meaningful games in December and be chasing a playoff spot late in December. And that's why I'm excited. 17-0, no. But if we are a little bit better than 7-10,
That's fair.
we are pushing for a playoff spot and playing in the postseason. And that's why I'm excited. And I think we've made enough steps.
Fair.
And the other thing is, I know we got to go to break, but our offense, as much as I love Tutu, is not centered around Derrick Henry anymore. So for better, for worse, we can't be gamed. I mean, we're going to be unpredictable. And that's an amazing place to be.
And people might call me crazy, but I think the running back room is better than what it was.
Yeah,
No, I
yes, without question.
100% agree with that.
Yep, the
I know,
whole
but
room.
it's hard to say that when you're talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but for this style of offense also. I mean,
Yes.
those guys in the pass game, we can talk about that when we come back. We were thinking about this the other day. Actually, I think Cosell brought it up. What if somebody goes down on the left side of the offensive line?
We're in trouble.
Inside linebacker,
Screwed.
pass rusher.
You're screwed without that.
I mean,
Screwed.
all right, we'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Somebody in the chat said, "Don't be a party pooper, Babs." Giving them our.
I mean, that's kind of your role sometimes.
Well,
you got to keep us down in here.
Hey, you know what? I won't be a party pooper when I talk about Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville because they're the best, and I can attest to that because I've used them to replace all my windows and doors in my rental property, and also some of my windows in my home, and actually just replacing another door in my home as well. And you can do the same with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville and know that they're going to do a great job. You might be surprised to learn how affordable those replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Affordable even more so with this deal. 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. Let Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville help you out. They've got all the warranty stuff behind their products. They have the staff in place to take care of you, and they'll come out and do a free consultation. Check out that offer and schedule that at PellaNashville.com.
Tickets, Turf, and Landscape Supply. That's the group you need to get that lawn in shape. And, man, it's a hot one out there. But fall is coming. Trey Hartsook from Tickets, Turf, and Landscape Supply is with us with more. Hey, Trey.
Hey, bro, what's going on, man? Happy Friday. I'll tell you, a lot of people coming in now really excited about the fall coming around because they know at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply we have a lot of good options for you as far as the overseeding, the cool season turf grows. Have some really good options if you want to do the perennial ryegrass thing on your Bermuda, or if you just want to oversee with the fescue, with the PTT, the proven turfgrass technologies, only available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. But Brent, so much more with us here. We'd love to help you about your lawn, whether you're somebody that doesn't know anything about your lawn whatsoever, but wants to have it nice. At Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, we have great turf experts at every single location that would love to help you with your lawn, talk you through it, and get you the product that you need. Hey, Brent, I'll tell you, right now is also a great time if you want to replace that lawnmower. You've had a tough year this far and trying to limp that thing along. There's no reason not to come in and shop with us. Have a lot of great brands, Toro, Wright, Ferris, Snapper, Walker. And on the handheld side of things, maybe you need a new weed eater, new backpack blower, new chainsaw, Echo, Shindawa, Red Max, Steel, all available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. Stop in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, Marc Mariani. We call him Moonshine in studio. Been to Montana lately? I'm sure the weather's a little better than here.
Just spent 2 weeks up there, baby. It's the freshest air you could possibly get.
Dawn said she went to do a game up there and she was treated like royalty because she knew you.
I remember that game.
Yeah.
Like the entire state. They
Oh
were
my
waiting
God.
for her at the airport. Like,
Yeah.
you're
That
friends with Mariani.
So great.
I mean, in my post-game interview with Coach,
Gosh, that's right.
he's like, tell Marc we said hi.
By the way, to clean up a discussion during the break, last kind of shutdown type corner the Titans had, you guys were right. Corbin Finnegan played in the Pro Bowl, also first team All-Pro in 2008.
I'm telling you.
2008.
First team
Finnegan
All-Pro.
was legit, man.
That's awesome. Yeah,
You guys would go at it?
But that's probably the last shutdown.
Yeah, I mean,
so what we're talking about is during the break, we were talking about how different this defense looks, basically what they've done in the secondary, free agency. When's the last time the Titans have had a true lockdown corner?
Well, and we were talking about why me trying to check myself and why I'm so jacked on everything and why it feels different. And I feel like Rand came in and he got this new role as an executive VP and he got a little bit of freedom to do whatever he wants. And the Tennessee Titans landed some of the top free agents in this class. Calvin Ridley, Lloyd Cushenberry. Lloyd Cushenberry also probably the biggest pickup we had. I think it's going to solidify everything. But
Man, they pull the center.
yeah,
I mean,
dude,
that's
I'm
how
telling you,
athletic
this
he
guy is going to change everything up front. So not only did we gain a left tackle and gain a year for Skoronski and all that, we gained a center who is an absolute baller.
Right.
And that was one of the biggest free agent signings we had, minus all the big names. But you got Calvin Ridley, you got Tony Pollard, you got L'Jarius Sneed. These are first-day free agents off the board. And just for my time with the Titans haven't been that day one free agents want to come here mentality. We've always been a small market team and yada, yada. But the lights have come on in this town, man. What D-Hop is doing all over the city and how he's pumping it and all the boys are coming. I mean, that's why I think it feels different. We have some insane talent, and not only insane talent, but we have guys that have won at a very high level and won championships at a very high level, whether it's won national championships in college or Super Bowls. I don't think it's going to let that veteran presence is not going to let some of these young guys skip a beat, miss a beat, get lazy or anything. You got Jamal Adams in that DB room now. I just like where we're headed. We need a massive pass rush. And we need some help at linebacker on defense. But it feels good. We're going to have to see it play out. But that's where my excitement comes from.
Love it.
Marc Mariani with us on 3HL. Dawn and Jael in the chat. So there's some entertainment going on there. Jael saying he took exception to the running backs are better argument.
No, what she said was the running back room is better, and that is an absolute fact. When you talk about the running back room,
in
if you talk about individual,
and you
is
talk
Derrick
about
Henry,
versatility.
if you talking about is he a Hall of Fame? Hell yeah, a Hall of Famer. Like you're not gonna remove that. Just like you're not gonna remove Eddie George. You're not gonna replace him with Chris Johnson. You're not gonna replace Chris Johnson with Derrick. You're not gonna do no replacing. But as far as the room, that is a much better room when you can bring a guy in and no one knows this is not. What was the guy that filled in for Derrick Henry? He went to the Carolina Panthers after
Deontay Foreman.
Deontay Foreman. It's not Deontay Foreman when he's coming in. You're like, oh, this is 3rd down and 1. Guess who they giving the ball to? Deontay Foreman. No, they bringing in Tajay Spears for Tony Pollard. Guess what they might do with this?
You don't have to take
like you're not
any of those guys out.
Yeah.
And Jael said he's a 2,000-yard rusher. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
He had 1,167 yards last year.
That's great.
And I'm not dogging Derrick Henry.
Exactly.
I think all the same things you just said.
Absolutely.
He's a Hall of Fame running back, and we were blessed to be able to have a seat here and watch that guy's career. But in terms of what they can do offensively with those two running backs now is night and day in terms of what they could do with Derrick Henry back there. Totally. It's no longer run on 1st down, 2nd down, and pass on 3rd.
Right.
Like, I mean, you have no idea what's coming.
It got so old. We sat here all year last year after years of it. Derrick Henry's dominance became sort of a crutch because we relied on it so much in this offense. And it was like, hey, how are we going to move the ball? Well, we got Derek, so we're just going to give him the ball. And after years of that, 3, 4, 5 years, it got so old down the stretch and defenses were just onto us. We didn't have the right personnel to be that big physical monster. And we sat here so frustrated about our offense and how it's just a dang train can't get moving. And now you got these two explosive running backs that nobody knows how we're going to use them, and they're so versatile. Make people miss, catch the ball. And I think a lot
And really good at
falls on-
pass pro.
Really good at pass pro. I think a lot falls on Brian Callahan and Nick Holtz in this offense of creating these mismatches, getting these guys into the green grass and into the open field, and getting them into playmaking situations.
No, but this is, and on top of that, you tell me if I'm wrong. Taylor Lewan came in and spoke about it. Like, it was different when you're predictable and you knew Derrick Henry had to get. Savage talked about it for 2 years. You knew you had to get 4 and 5 steps for Derrick Henry to get going, which put more pressure. And I'm not giving the offensive line a break at all, but you got to hold your block and get off the ball a little bit more. With these guys, Taylor Lewan even said it. It's different when you have a guy taking 1 or 2 steps and making a cut in the backfield off of a lineman and finding a hole, rather than let's open up this hole, let them get through it, and ain't nobody gonna stop the Mack truck. But if they get back there, it's no, you know what I mean, no shiftiness to it. So it plays a difference, man. And if you caught on that, then sorry.
Well, Derrick Henry was a problem in the open field, an absolute problem. The last few years, we had trouble getting him into the green grass because we were so predictable.
Yeah, Lewan said
he was a problem.
Lewan said they had to get him to his 4th step.
Yeah, and it was impossible with the stacked box that we could not beat toward the end of it, and so.
It was also impossible
all good things
with
must
that
come to an end.
garbage of an offensive line last year.
And OC.
That too. God, I haven't dogged him in a long time. It's been like months.
Yeah, he's still dealing with it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 picks the other day. Was that Downing's fault?
Hell yeah.
Mark, can you hang for a little bit?
I'm going to stick around one more segment if you guys don't mind.
Marc Mariani in studio. More Titans Talk next. If you want in, 615-737-1045.
What is happening? What's good people? Now, you need to get on over to Brentwood Jewelry. BrentwoodJewelry.com, 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. And you know what the funny thing is? I was sitting up here chatting, texting with Brandon from over at Brentwood Jewelry, telling him, man, I need me a watch. I got to get a watch. And also, thank you for the engagement ring that you made it very easy for me to make that happen. But let's move on from that. Now let's get this watch for me.
Hold on. And the band that you didn't even know that you had to get.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Good thing Brentwood Jewelry took care of it.
That's what I'm telling you, man. When you walk in there, they'll set a time allotment aside for you where you can go in there and you can tell them everything you want to get done, and they'll tell you what's supposed to be done, because I had no clue. I'm like, why do you get 2 rings? None of that made sense to me. But I went through with it. Everything was fine. Now, we're moving on to the watch. Exceptional deals, exceptional style every day for over 50 years. BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Sorry, I had to throw that in.
That's quite fine.
I was still amazed by that. I want to tell you about Loan Pronto. Do you have a current rate on your home that's over 6%? Dump it, because mortgage rates are finally tanking. My friends at Loan Pronto have rates that start with a 4, best rate in years. So now is a great time to call them. They locked in folks recently at 4.99% APR too. Whether you got your loan last week, last month, last year, 2 years ago, whatever, it's time to call Loan Pronto. Even if you are in the process with another lender right now, stop now and call Loan Pronto and ask about their zero-cost rate reduction home loan. Lock in a lower rate with no closing costs, almost no paperwork, and usually no appraisal in this area too. Do it in a matter of days. If you act now, you could skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now at 615-499-5780. By the way, you could even skip your next 2 house payments. That's a lot of money in your pocket. LoanPronto.com was where you start the process, or give them a call, 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
From the 104.5 The Zone Studios, I'm Joe Honk. Make sure that you continue to listen to 104.5 The Zone on Saturday because Countdown to Kickoff begins at 3 p.m. with Blaine Bishop, B-Hop, as well as Kayla Anderson and Buck Rising. And then we hand it off to Titans Radio beginning at 5 p.m. for Titans pregame with 6 o'clock kick for the Titans and the Seahawks. Marlon Davidson will not be on the field because the defensive lineman has a bicep tear and he is done for the seasons. We found out earlier today that the Titans are working out former Browns defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. Last time you saw him on the field was with the Birmingham Stallions winning a championship in the USFL. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, Friday edition. The weekend is here. Glad you're with us. Hope you're doing well.
A lot of that's just training camp.
It is a hot one out there, man. Hydration.
That's true.
Brent Doherty with you. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The Evan and Bake chat is wide open. That's where you can communicate with some of the 3HL fam. Don Davenport is here.
What up?
We out here. What up, Babsy?
Let's go.
When are you getting your new headphones?
Sunday.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Those look sweet. Those aren't new. Those look awesome.
Now they're broken.
Oh, dang.
So that's kind of
He's being
What do you mean?
smart
I
aleck.
want them. I want those left in studio for me when I
LaJuan said she looked like a bobblehead.
because of that. Oh, because your ear's hanging. I see it now. I didn't see it before.
Slay Dog is here.
I'm in the building. A little late, does stuff. Yeah, I bet you did.
And Marc Mariani, Moonshine in your hearts,
Let's go
right here in the studio with an extra segment, bonus time.
There it is. That's the shark hunting I need.
You ready to start
Blood in the
picking
water,
games?
baby.
You ready to start picking games this year?
Oh, dude, never been more ready. I got sprinkles for everybody.
So, joint practices. So, Taylor LeWan told us, he said, they're the worst.
Oh,
He was like,
why
they're
did
the
he say
worst.
that?
He said they're the worst.
Well,
But I think offensive linemen and defensive linemen may have a different opinion about those things. He said there's so many egos out there, and then if you get involved with like a position battle in front of you, then guys are really coming at you.
I was talking about this. We were talking about this on the front end. I don't know why, and I think it just morphed into this, but like you're getting ready for joint practice in the locker room, and you're strapping up, and you're like, we gonna get in a fight today. Like it's like a badge of honor. Like we can't just be like good, hard, compete.
Are you surprised
keep it
that they didn't?
There was a little stuff. There's a little back and forth. But here's what's crazy: the fines are getting handed down from the league now.
Yeah, they're watching
and that's
tape.
what's crazy. That's
So-
the crazy part. But let me finish this about Taylor's comment first.
Okay.
Because I think what Callie did on the mic right after practice was the important part of that comment, where he said, like unequivocally, there's no decision, there's no more decision. My starters are resting for the game on Saturday, point blank. Where not like, oh, we might play this and that, and you might have. If Taylor LeWan knew, hey, I got 2 days of joint practice, and then I am not suiting up for the preseason game, I guarantee you he will sign up for that. And that was that's the difference. Is like, are you a guy that has to then go that gets to in my position, but that goes and plays in that preseason game? And a lot of guys anymore, I hate to say that, but the preseason games become, for your starting left tackle, your franchise guy, a little bit meaningless and a chance for you to get banged up. You're already getting ready, the real solid reps. And that's why I think joint practice has become a staple and around the league, and everybody does it because great work gets done in the last 2 days of practice. Whereas in the preseason game, you don't have any control over the situation, how the game flow is going to go. Whereas if you are doing the joint practices, you control everything. You're doing red zone. You're doing 2 minute. You're doing third down. Yeah. You're putting the ball where you want to put the ball. You can scheme it up. You can see your stuff. You can call certain plays to set something up. Anyway, there's a lot more control what the coaches have. And so I think better work gets done during those days than an actual preseason game.
So Wednesday, there was a lot of chirping, especially defensive back groups on both sides. Was there a lot of chirping yesterday?
Oh, chirping nonstop.
I love that.
Every play. Every play from what's funny, what's crazy is guys that are standing on the sideline are yelling and chirping.
And they go running on the field when something
It's not
happens.
like me and Slay were talking about where you're one-on-one battle where you're getting in someone's face. It's like the guys, especially some of the depth guys on the back of the roster are sitting there yelling at the guys on the field. And I'm like, well, damn, everybody just gets to pipe off nonstop.
Like James Williams was yelling at a bunch of people right in front of me on Wednesday, and I'm like, he's a rookie from Miami, and he's over here just. I mean,
that's the type of mentality I'm talking about. Where you walk out of the locker room like, it's a joint practice, so we better start swinging. It's like, dude, I'm just going. It's kind of got to that point, or it used to until they started finding. But it was kind of like, all right, we're fine today, man. We got to figure this out. It's so weird. It's the weirdest mentality.
We also knew coming out of what they showed with DK Metcalf and those guys getting into it with each other.
Yeah,
coming down here, and we knew going into next week. Callie had said the week before. We expect Quandre Diggs to be worked back then. We expect Jamal Adams to be playing in the joint practices. So you kind of knew it was going to be some. I mean, he just left Seattle.
Yeah,
like, both of them did.
Yeah.
So you knew that competition was going to be high. And as much as they have a mentality on their defensive line and their corners as well. The whole defense for Seattle. So with those two guys chirping, you know it's going to be like it's like a Marc come back and I'm an old teammate. I'm going at Marc like. Dog, you see what it is?
It
like,
was that way.
So that's where all that bled over to. Where you had a story like when they picked it off and the whole defense ran on the field.
It was awesome. Yeah. I mean, yesterday, during one of the team periods, the Seahawks picked off Will Levis, and the entire defense, all 11 guys, ran over to our sideline to Jamal Adams and handed Jamal the ball. Yeah. And just talking in his ear and saying a bunch of nonsense. And Jamal was hilarious, laughed it off. It was so fun. To me, that showed that they love that dude, respect him. He was a leader of that defense, and it was like, our brothers wearing the wrong colors now. Let's go give him a little business. So I thought that was pretty funny, but not that they picked us off. I wanted to. Oh, that pissed me. But no, but it was pretty. It was that type of stuff all day that you saw out on the field, and that's where the competition. That's where you get the most. You see guys in their true light when the battle gets going and the competition starts getting heated, you get the most out of guys. That's
one of the most exciting things I look forward to as well when it comes to our defense. Like we got really new guys on the defense. This is a new group. Like in order for them to get that experience and that camaraderie and that brotherhood, like you heard, I don't know if anybody heard what Quandre Diggs came off yesterday and Jamal Adams, and the reporters asked him, what do you guys think about the Seattle defense and, all the talking? It was like, that's a brotherhood. That's what we want to get over here as well. And I understand that because you're walking into a new situation with just starting two corners coming from somewhere else. Your safety now with Quandre Diggs teaming up with Hooker back there. Jamal Adams coming down, and then you got guys coming in on the line, Tavondre Sweat being added in. Of course, you got Harold Arden Key, so forth and so on with Big Jeff right there. But you got guys that got to go through something. You know what I mean? You never know who you are in the character being tested. And the reason they act like that is because Leonard Williams, he's been through something with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So same thing for Jamal and those guys. I think that's gonna be interesting, man, because these guys, the guys that they have on the Titans defense, I'm walking down the alley with somebody. Any one of them. I close my eyes and pick any one of them. I'm from Gibbons to Otis Reese to Harold Landry. Like all of these guys, we understand their mentality. Yes, it has to translate as a unit on the field, but to a man, an individual, man, give me any one of them. Cheeto, Sneed, Quandre, as small as he is, let him go. I'm going down the alley with any of these guys. So that mentality, if they get that together, the quicker they do it, the more dangerous this team going to be. We know what it is on offense.
Did y'all see that footage that went all over the internet with Jeffrey Simmons throwing Lakin Tomlinson?
You know what I'm saying?
Out of the club.
Good God.
Who is 6'3",
That's what somebody tweeted.
323. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, you got to show me that.
Oh, dude, like this right here was different.
Well, Slay's got me over here all fired up. And you know what's fun about this? Oh my goodness. Is that Lakin Tomlinson?
Yes.
Bro, I swear I swear, that's one of the strongest dudes I've ever met in my entire life. I trained with him.
Yeah.
I think he's a dookie.
Yeah.
Is he? I think he's talking. I think I'm thinking of the right guy. And he is one of the strongest MFers I've ever met in my entire life. There's not a dumbbell or a weight in the entire weight room that he couldn't throw around.
Yeah, Duke.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I know him. I wish I would have seen him yesterday. That's my boy. Dude, he's scary strong.
He's from Chicago.
That highlight is gnarly. That was insane.
He was a first-round pick by the Lions in 2015.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got guys like George Fant on the line. Like, this man was
my God.
And he's a 10-year vet.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
That don't supposed to happen.
6'3", 323. And Jeffrey Simmons hit him head on, got some leverage moving to the left, and then threw him.
You need to post that.
Across the field.
Gnarly. Well, hey, I want to make a point to Slay's point because he's got me all fired up over here because here's the thing is, and this is why the timing is so good right now because they're about to slam the doors and lock them shut with no more fans and no more media. We got one more preseason game tomorrow night and then obviously next week, but I think we're getting cut off with media and no, there's no more fan. It's almost that time where it's like, all right, boys, lock the doors, chain them up, and look around. This is who we got in our street fight. And this defense, week 1 at Chicago, they're going to go through those battles together. But it's these dog days of summer. It's the hot days of summer. That's when you test your man next to you and you know we're walking through this thing together. And it's getting to that point of the year, right? We're not talking about the draft anymore. We're not talking about May or June. This is late August, and it's almost season time, and it's almost go time for these guys. And so it's almost battle time, battle tested, battle ready, and all that meshing and all that stuff is about to take place, and we're going to find out. But I think the pieces that we have in place, like I said, there's some winners on this team that have won at a high level, and they're going to bring the other guys with them into that street fight. It's going to be beautiful.
Speaking of winners, blood in the water is about to happen. You ready? You ready for the new season?
Dude, I'm born ready, dude. I'm always shooting.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man. Really appreciate it. Always good to see you. You do a great job.
I appreciate you guys, man. This is so much fun. You guys have an awesome weekend. Everyone listening, have an awesome weekend.
Real quick, somebody said, "What's on your hat?"
Oh my gosh, I got called out. I think this is the Morgan Wallen hat. Is that bad to be pumping out there?
No.
That show, I went to the Nashville show.
Oh, dude.
Oh, is it?
That was amazing.
I don't even know what it is.
This is his thing,
it
man.
looks cool.
Are you going to Neyland Stadium show?
I might do them all after that first one. I was hyped that night, dude.
He's playing Neyland. He's been wanting to play Neyland for a long time. Finally got it done, and he's going to do Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, they added another one.
Friday,
coming in.
He's a
September.
savage, bro.
Yeah.
You just gotta. Those chairs can't be flying like that anymore.
It's not his fault. They should have been bolted down.
But I do love that, dude, so I'm repping it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right,
guys.
Somebody in the chat liked it. So
Yeah, that's
there you
perfect.
go.
Thank you, Moonshine. Good stuff, man.
All right, guys.
Moonshine,
have a great weekend.
I'll probably release the video after us doing the push-ups with our shirt off.
Okay, no problem, dude. No problem. Let it go. Let the people know.
Yeah.
Y'all are cut off. You're done.
Step Brothers over there.
You're done.
Another SEC player has a private plane NIL deal. We'll tell you who next on 104.5 The Zone.
Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, Bob Lyons, the owner. That's who you need to call if you are interested in enhancing your home and landscape with some landscape outdoor lighting, because they're the best. They did our driveway, our backyard, and we absolutely love it. But here's the deal. They do absolutely everything. Light up your night with Outdoor Lighting Perspectives. They do the design of it, the installation, the maintenance, from festival lights to path lights to wall washing to tree lighting to area lighting. They even do maintenance on lighting systems they did not install, so they can help you there. If you have ever been to Cheekwood for the past 8 years and seen their holiday lights at Cheekwood, guess what? Bob and his team at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, they are in charge of that as well. It's always beautiful, and they can help you with your holiday lighting around your house too. So you have no ladders, no boxes, no mess. They do the design, the installation, the takedown, and the storage. NashvilleChristmasLights.com is where you need to go for that. Just interested in landscape lighting? They're the best. You can have them come out and do a free nighttime design demonstration. Just go to outdoorlights.com/Nashville and request it.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
You ever wonder why so many pro athletes go and use stem cell therapy? Because it works. I'm Ron Slade, retired 14-year pro basketball player, and I needed to get this done. After I went through my entire career riddled with injuries, I needed therapy, so I went to Kellum Stem Cell Institute out in Franklin. Why? Because they're the stem cell specialists. They can be yours too. They're the stem cell specialists of the Tennessee Titans. You know why? Because it works.
Make an appointment today with Kellum Stem Cell Institute.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Is it just Michael Jackson Day? Is that what it is? MJ Day?
Why not?
Okay. You can do whatever you want, man. I'm not the executive producer of 3HL. You are.
What's up?
There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. Y'all, I love the Little League World Series, man. And it's like, I'm not going to necessarily just sit down and watch an entire Chinese Taipei Australia game, but I love having it on while you're doing other stuff. You know what I mean? And just check it out every once in a while. Kids playing sports is the best. It's the best. 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045 on Twitter. I'll get to the SEC player with the private plane deal. That blew your mind when Jackson Dart was the first one, right? And you were like, private plane? What are we doing? Where's he going? The Bahamas for the weekend?
Yeah, like what? Like what?
Everything's open.
What? So if I got an autograph signing in L.A., I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
See y'all. Free of charge.
Yeah.
And I think he even has he can take 3 or 4 people with him? Mm-hmm. Like, come on, dog.
Well, I mean,
you know what's really crazy, though?
You're not just going to take an empty plane.
Johnny Manziel been doing that. Johnny Manziel, that was one of the most I knew it's been going on, but to see it was one of the most eye-opening experiences I think I've watched. To see what it did for Texas A&M, for their stadium, man, winning a Heisman is serious. And people that have done it, like you can walk around, and I ain't gonna say this often, but when you walk around on Alabama's campus, when I went down there for that game, you can smell the money. Like you can really, like you can feel it. Because, dude, is when you step foot on campus, like this ain't no.
It's different.
It's different. LSU the same way. Like you can feel like
LSU different. Anyway.
Like it's like anyway, yeah. But it's like, dog, hey man, that is a major, major, major flex, man, and a jet. I'm just imagining.
Quinn Ewers has it too, right?
Yeah, it's 3 of them. Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers, and Carson Beck.
Carson Beck is the one that I teased, yeah.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
now it's out there.
They all 3 have deals with private jets.
Dog.
Can you imagine?
No.
SEC.
No.
SEC. It just means more, man.
Can you imagine if you would have had a private jet deal and you and your boys on that team? I mean, see you Monday, Coach.
Let me go and tell you something. I will see you Monday sometime even without the jet. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I remember, I think statute of limitation is up as far as what can happen. But this is the thing. I remember us winning. Who did we beat?
Syracuse, and then you went in the city?
Or it may have been the preseason, and the coach gave us off Sunday and Monday or something. And the Up in Smoke tour was taking place in Atlanta. Dog, we went to the Up in Smoke tour. Man, shout out Wheeler from the Ville, man. I got to Nashville, and we went to the Up in Smoke tour. And this is why you got to have real OGs around you. I remember Snoop was out there, and Snoop was passing out blunts. Like, firing it up, and as soon as he hit it, he just give it to anybody. And he had a dude automatic rolling for him. And he just
hit it one time and then give it away.
To somebody. Yeah, so I remember Will telling me, hey, man, you scoot back. What are you doing? I was like, no, man, they passed. Hey, boy, get back. I was like, okay, all right, I'll get back. Then I saw they were doing a documentary, and they would have caught me on the camera, too, and that would have been crazy. But it was,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was that close, being silly. But it was, hey, man, we went down to Atlanta and got back in time for practice. Like, I can't imagine a jet. Did
Coach ever ask you, like, hey, what'd you guys do this weekend? Or did he know not to ask you?
Let me tell you something. This is no knock to my coach. My first 2 years. When we Jerry Green. I saw my coach. I had him 2 years. I probably saw him twice.
Outside of
practice in the arena or team meeting. Twice. That's why when I see Rick Barnes,
he was notorious for doing his own thing.
He was gonna do it.
Yeah,
just make sure you be ready to go, and he gonna be ready to go.
Said this man talking statute of limitations.
I don't know if that was a permissible benefit or what. I don't know what was going on with that, but that's why I trip when I see Rick Barnes or Heupel and these guys or these coaches out with.
And they're out and about.
Man, Bruce Pearl's another one. Man, when they out and about and having guys over your house, like when Buzz got there and he was having us over his house, I was like, are we supposed to be over here?
This is weird.
Yeah, this is weird. Is this how college really is? Okay, cool. But
the best Jerry Green story is the Stop the Bus story.
That was excellent. And I'm trying.
And I'd heard that forever, and then I was glad to confirm that with you.
Ain't no need to stop in the bus. We got what you need back here, buddy.
He just didn't know.
Go ahead though. More for us.
Get us some.
No, we got it.
So y'all were prepared.
He wasn't prepared.
I love it.
So we was gonna win anyway. So
so Carson Beck with the private jet.
That's dope, man. Sheesh.
Nice. Ooh, different times.
I will say this though, like about the wild times that y'all had. I mean, y'all were so freaking tight.
Oh, without question. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about with the defense. Like, I've been in those rooms, and I've seen when it's not tight. I've seen when it's in cliques. You know what I'm saying? When you got 2 or 3 groups of guys, and they go and do other things. You could see it at Tennessee when Tennessee football was starting to unravel. You could start to see, like, they ain't even always together. We could literally leave practice when I was there in that era and go to one of the football guys' houses, whether it be J. Lou, Cedric Wilson, whoever it may be, Al, Sean Ellis, whoever it is, go over their house, and it's at least 30 people over there. Like, it's nowhere to sit or anything, but people just in there just standing, just looking at each other, cracking jokes, who's firing up the grill. Like, that's a different team, man. And with the mentalities that you have on that team with the Titans defensively, that could be special, man. And I know it's like a 1-year rental, you know what I mean? But if everybody stays healthy, they could do some. They could fast track what we expect to happen 2 or 3 years from now. Is all I'm saying.
615-737-1045.
Does that make sense, Babson?
Yeah.
Okay.
This man talking about statute of limitations.
I don't need man. Shout out Doug Dickey, man. That's my man. Great athletic director.
The tall man.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Mike Hamilton, man. Let me get on by. I ain't trying to cause no ruckus.
How many times were you called into Doug Dickey's office?
At least 7. And I ain't even thinking. I'm just giving you a number. Like, it's at least 7.
So y'all were cool, but if you got called in there and he closed the door, then you knew something was a little different.
That made the conversation different. It's just going to be different. Then you got a little guy sitting in the corner like, this little guy ain't never in the corner.
Yeah, where does this little guy come from?
And find out he compliant.
That's when you know.
Like, come on,
that's when you know you're in trouble.
He start asking all the weird questions. You can't lie to Coach Dickey. Like, man, I lie to you, but can't lie to Coach Dickey. Like, come on, man.
I got no respect for you.
Yeah, I only know who you are. I've never lied to you. And Coach Dickey, he got my back.
That's what they used to say when I was in. I sold radio for like 3 or 4 years, and that was always the joke. Like if you walked into a manager's office and there was another manager in that office, walk back out.
Yeah, I want no pause in there
because that's
crazy, man.
That's when the stuff was going down.
The only time I got let go, there were 2 people in the office. Yeah,
you need a witness.
Get out of there, Babsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still do. We have such a good relationship with everyone around this building. It's so much fun. It's so funny. But like when I was in sales a long time ago, like I got into the business in 97 and I produced like Zeph does for 3 years. And then I went into sales for 3-4 years, whatever it was. My sales manager was Dave Elliott, who is the sales manager for the Zone now. So we go way back. But I'll still do that. Like if I walk into Dave's office and you don't see somebody sitting in there and then like Hunter from Titan Freighter or something, I'll step back out. And then they start busting out laughing.
Old habits.
Let me ask you, well, we'll do this in a minute. One of the questions I'm going to ask you guys in just a little bit, Titans are not playing their starters, obviously, tomorrow. Would you rest the starters? I'm going to ask you guys in a minute. Did you guys watch the preseason game last night? Because, I'm so obsessed with football that I sat there and watched most of that game.
I planned on it and missed it.
I did, too, and I did not watch it.
The Eagles beat the Patriots 14-13 last night. So one of the Patriots storylines is quarterback, right? So Jacoby Brissett, it's been widely viewed. He's going to be the guy. Their schedule at the beginning of the season is really, really hard, and they're not good at all. So you would think you go with the veteran, right? But interestingly enough, and it's funny, coming off of our conversation with Greg Cosell, who spent some time at North Carolina a couple weeks ago talking with their coaching staff about Drake May, among other things. And so I had a little different view of Drake May as I watched that game. He didn't do bad, man.
Really?
It looked like he had some growth from the first game to this one. His numbers weren't great, but he looked like he was more in control. And the quarterback battle is apparently a battle. So Drake May played deep into the third quarter. 6 of 11, 47 yards. He had a 4-yard rushing touchdown off a read option. Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo said that May could overtake Jacoby Brissett. He said this a little while ago, if he lights it up in practice and in games. Okay, so he gave him that window. You don't want to shut a guy down, right? So after the game, Mayo said this, that May, quote, definitely took a step forward and that the competition for the starting job is definitely not over, end quote. So I'm always, when I read things like that, I always wonder, are coaches just saying that to keep the guy going?
Yes.
Or is it real?
In this case.
Or is it real?
I mean, it might be.
I think you're right.
It might be real, but I think it's just saying that because they want to protect him. Right? They want to protect him from a debacle of a rookie debut on a bad team against good opponents early on.
Like Cosell sat in here yesterday and said the perfect situation for Drake May would be to not play this year.
Yeah. At least not in the beginning, right?
And then you get these comments from Gerard Mayo after the game, and so that made me wonder. Did you when you were playing at Tennessee, for example, did you ever like read a comment from one of your coaches and be like, "Man, what's he talking about?"
I was a little different. So I would, if I would see something, I'm going to ask him, and I probably shouldn't, but that was just always me. Like, Coach, you can come tell me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go put nothing in the paper. But you know what I mean? Like,
because Rick Barnes says some really stern things.
Yeah, no question.
About what players need to do better, and I mean, in detail. And what I hear is that Rick Barnes has already told the player that exact stuff.
Now, if that's the case, then you can say whatever you want to say. That's all good. I just always want to give it to me first. Don't let me have to
read it.
Get home, get a call about it. Like, dude, what is he talking about? I thought you said this.
Big Jeff and the Wire.
Exactly. Like, I don't need any of that. And I think you got to have that open dialogue, especially with one of your guys that I feel like it's always easier to build up than to put back together, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If I get someone from square one and I'm building them up, pats on the back, scolding them here and there, it's easier than to let him go on his own journey and then all of a sudden me come in and tear him down and he fall to pieces, and now I got to try to pick up the pieces, put his mental back together, kind of like what we were talking about in a sense with what Traylon Burks. You know what I'm saying? Like, a new regime came in and we all speak about how we see him being more confident. I think it's much easier than to have to rebuild somebody than it's easier to build somebody up than to have to tear them down and then rebuild them up by picking up the pieces. If that makes sense.
Because a lot of coaches are like that.
Yeah.
They're going to immediately tear you down.
And I think it's a different generation as well, too, now.
Right.
But these guys are coming in, even with the older guys that are on the way out. Like, everybody's a little bit more on the surface. Like, give me what you're thinking, and your delivery is what counts. So that's the same thing. If I tell Bab something and she put it in the paper, how is she giving it to the paper? You know what I'm saying? That may not be how I gave it to her. So your delivery is what counts.
Are you surprised that Rick Barnes, speaking of players these days, are you surprised that Rick Barnes is still able to find as many hardworking, willing to do everything they can to play defense as well as they can guys?
No, because of the success he's had. I think if it was...
That's what you lean on.
Yeah, he's a barely over 500 coach. It's difficult to get guys to go in, buy in. You're not seeing the individual awards like SEC Player of the Year, First Team All-SEC, Defensive Player of the Year. If you don't see any of that, it makes it hard for me to listen to you. You know what I mean?
Like Kevin O'Neal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good example.
Right. You know what I mean? But when you come off the court or the field, he's that same guy that was on you the same way trying to get you going, the same guy that can joke and laugh and not talk about anything basketball, but talk about how's life, man, what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? So you build that kind of rapport with a guy and bridge that gap. I think you got to have not only that coach, but like what Marc Mariani said, you got to have coaches around you. Like, you got them veteran coaches, Tracy Rocker, you know what I mean? All these guys that have come in, you got to have all these guys on the same accord being able to talk to different people. It's too many people to navigate. So I need to be able to talk to y'all to understand what I need to say to Zeph. I might not be able to manage Zeph, but if we all on the same accord, then I know how to go talk to him. Y'all might tell me, hey, now, Zeph is you're a little sensitive when you mention this. You know what I'm saying? Or so I know how to navigate that when I'm speaking to it. Same thing for players and coaches. In my opinion.
It's interesting.
In my humble
opinion. That's right.
A lot of people are talking about the starters not playing on Saturday.
I know.
And the coach said all offseason that the starters would play every game, and then he backed off that a little bit before he completely said they're not because of the joint practices, right?
You don't know you're going into it, Babs, and how it's going to be. You don't know how it's going to be. You don't know how hard it's going to be. You don't know how much you're going to get out of it. You don't know if we're going to get to fighting, and then we're going to have to end practice an hour early where we didn't get none of the work accomplished. We don't have any film to go back and look at. Then I have to play you. But if you go out there and you go hard like they did, I mean, you ain't going to reward them with nothing.
Let's talk about it when we come back. 615-737-1045. Some things are just better together, like moonshine and sleigh, sitting arm in arm. In fact, it'd be pretty cool if you could get your favorite streaming apps and internet together, right? Xfinity thinks so, and that's why the Xfinity Stream Saver was designed to deliver. When you add Xfinity Stream Saver to your internet, you get Apple TV Plus, Netflix, and Peacock all for one low price. And now through September 22nd, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for $30 a month for 12 months with 1 year contract and Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, add the Stream Saver for just $15 a month. That's a whole lot of entertainment for your money, all on the network built for streaming. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a stored bank account. Taxes and fees are extra after the promotion. Regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Team Saver, Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. MJ Day. Did you plan this out, Zeph? Like, you're a very organized individual.
Nope. Just searched Michael Jackson and just started putting in music.
My brother nails this dance. I mean,
how does your brother have
good.
so much like talent? And
it skipped me. I don't know.
No, Babs. And what, Yor?
I knew what he was saying.
I wish you would have let him finish.
You're right. I should have said how to.
Listen, he's an eight. Seriously,
have you not seen Babsy or seen her in the karaoke?
Yes, I have seen her in the karaoke.
That's a bad example to bring up. Like,
she completely froze.
You're not helping my cause.
Oh, my bad.
By the way, your sunroof is closing up there. You just bent down right in front of me.
I'm telling y'all. Sunroof, we grow hell, man. I'm out that thing 3 times a week, PAI Medical, what up? Yeah, man, I'm starting to get my waves back and everything. And y'all, I know y'all thinking, no, I ain't had to have a little surgery or none of that. This is just me sitting up under the LLLT, the
laser light show?
No,
that's
light laser.
Doggone it.
Whatever. It's working.
Some therapy.
It's working.
Some therapy.
Golly, they gonna be hot at me.
Come on in for some therapy.
Come on, Slay. You gotta do better than this.
Well, I mean, I hit you with it out of nowhere.
Laser light something?
Yeah, it's light laser. It's another L.
Likability?
No, I wanted to say lucrative, but that ain't got nothing to do with anything.
Well, it is lucrative on your head.
It is.
No, but back to the point. So anybody would pale in comparison from a talent standpoint. You have immense talent in other areas, but you're not a motion picture actor, and you cannot dance to beat it perfectly.
Correct. Like, my brother is a phenomenal dancer. Like, this is how it went down in my childhood. My mom, so for those that don't know, my mom was a dancer, was a dance major, cheerleader.
On Broadway.
And danced, yes, on Broadway.
That's crazy.
So she's that good. So she, of course, immediately as a child put me in dance, competitive dance, all of that. I was doing that at 5. And then finally at like 10, the owner of the dance studio was like, Buff. She ain't it.
This guy was a true talent?
Like, all right now. All right.
So then, but her dream,
taking your money, but
her dreams were to have you in all these pageants and everything.
Yes,
so you had to have
I did
a talent.
do pageants. So she figured out I could not dance, so she taught me ventriloquism. But she tried so hard to keep the dance part in me. My talent when I was younger for these pageants, I would do ventriloquism and then put my doll down and go tap for a little bit right in the middle of it, and then go back and sing and do ventriloquism again. And then finally, even the judges in the pageants were like, just ixnay the dance part and it'll be great.
So you had 2 dolls in your ventriloquism act, right? Like, so you had a mini you, right?
Yes.
What were their names?
Well, I did it my whole life. So You've had a ton of them. I've probably had 12 puppets, 12 to 15 puppets in my entire.
And so your mom still has these?
Yes. A lot of them. Like, some of them we sold, but a lot of them she still has. So my niece now does pageants.
That's terrifying.
Now she's a phenomenal dancer, of course.
She can't get the
And no, but she's pretty good at the ventriloquism. Mom taught her ventriloquism too.
Wow.
And so she was doing that for a little bit.
What an odd thing to teach a child.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
So she actually is using one of my old dolls.
Wow.
I know, this whole thing is crazy.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
Welcome into 3HL.
Yeah, no, that ain't it.
See, but guess what? That's what I would, if I was Babsy, that's what I would take to school. I wouldn't need the doll.
I would do it in the talent shows. Like, growing up, you always have your class talent shows.
No, but he's saying
I would do it there.
He's saying like mess with teachers.
Yeah, like I'll be saying something. Everybody will be looking like, who's like talking?
Sandy over here gets in trouble for talking, but it wasn't really her.
Right. Absolutely.
But it was well known that I was a ventriloquist, though.
Oh, you were renowned.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Those dolls terrify me, man. At night,
you know what?
everybody's asleep. It's dark in the house, and they're just roaming around.
I'm going to drop a nugget on you.
Come on.
A talent nugget at a pageant. How old was I? I think probably 12, maybe 10 to 12. It was a pageant in Tennessee. I forget the name of it. Justin Timberlake was in it. Obviously, he was a child, like nobody knew who he was at that point.
Holy cow.
Babsy.
And I won overall talent.
Come on, Babsy. Represent.
Justin Timberlake.
Stop holding them gems, Babsy.
I really hope JT's rolling around Nashville right now listening to this.
Stop holding them. Give them to the people.
I think the pageant name was maybe Southern Charm or something. It was something I don't remember.
So he was like singing and dancing or something.
Oh, yeah, and he would win.
So your ventriloquism.
He would win everything, and I beat him at that
You
pageant for
barbecued
overall
him.
talent.
I mean,
barbecue, JT.
You know what? I should put that on my freaking resume
Hell
now.
yeah, why wouldn't you?
What do you need a
I would've
resume
been
for?
saying-
How old is he? So he had to be younger than me. I was probably like 12,
Do
right?
we need resumes?
Yeah,
How old
I had
is
to be.
Justin Timberlake now?
Like 45. Gotta be. 40. I'm 43. I think he's like
so
2 years older than
he's-
me.
I don't want to tell my age, but we're about to say.
He is 43 years old.
Oh, he's the same
Okay.
age as me.
Look at
I knew
that.
He was the
Yeah.
same age as me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, under me.
Yeah. So he
I'ma
was
stop.
like a year younger.
Wait, so what's Hadley's talent? Because I know your mom has gotten a hold of her when you've been out of town
So,
sometimes.
I have sent you guys some videos.
Yes, you have.
I'm loving it.
But I want you to put this out there.
I'm loving
I'm
it.
struggling.
No,
I'm
you're
really
not.
struggling.
No, you're not.
She is so into music.
She
and
just
singing
picked up a guitar.
and dancing.
Nobody gave it to her. She just picked it up.
I love it.
And she's really good at it. And I'm like, damn it. I need sports. You must play sports. She has soccer practice tonight. I ain't giving up. We're going to start volleyball right after football season.
She did gymnastics
We're going to
too,
start.
right?
She's still in gymnastics.
Okay.
I'm not giving up.
Softball? She can play
We need
baseball.
to do that.
She can play baseball.
She can play the little league or whatever baseball. Yeah.
T-ball.
So T-ball. Yeah. I'm going to start that.
Totally do that. So, I mean, listen, my kids played with girls playing baseball, for a while.
A long time. Yeah. But see, the problem is she's obsessed with dance and music. And so there's an area in the kitchen that she calls her stage. She yells at the dogs, "Get off my stage." I'm like, oh my gosh. I'll put video out from this weekend because it'll happen. So I'll put some video out for y'all. But she goes up at least once an hour while we're at home to ALEXA.
Yeah.
And once certain songs, plays them, and then grabs a fake microphone and sings on her stage. And I'm shook.
Guess what? You can have sports with that too.
That's
Should be the
right.
halftime entertainment.
We got to do all of it.
Are you going to teach her ventriloquism?
I might. I don't know. I should keep it going though, shouldn't I?
I'll bet your mom does at some point. One of these, like when we go to Vegas and you drop her there, like one of these weekends she has her and you're not there, she'll do it.
She's going to teach her.
Her on the microphone is great. I'm telling you.
She loves it. And she's actually pretty good.
Yeah. You can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Where did Candy go? Candy said, Babsy, great stories. Keep them up. I think she said that, but I can't see it anymore. But she said something like that. Anyway, Nut is Squirrel. Yo, Brent, where'd you get that hat? Factory in Franklin. There's two stores in the factory in Franklin.
Was that when we did the live show there?
No, this was recently. Like the factory in Franklin is hopping, y'all.
It's awesome.
I rolled by there on accident one time.
They have, you guys.
I was lost.
I told you.
There's the factory.
I let you guys in on the world of high-end consignment sales and all that.
Yeah.
The Little Sprouts consignment sale is there next week, actually.
I'm telling you, though, aside from
shopping.
Aside from that, because that's a big draw, historically speaking, at the factory in Franklin. Aside from that, and aside from the antiques, like they had, like the restaurant and
it's huge now. Hattie B's is there.
Hattie B's at Lee's Barbecue. They've got that ramen place. They've got $5. There's a great place. I had some jambalaya there. It's called White Tiger or White Lion. White Tiger, I think. Really good. But anyway, so I get my hair cut down there. My guy Matt Fine, shout out Matt Fine.
So you go often.
Yeah, but so I went one Saturday for some reason, and there were like 1,000 people in that thing. I was like, man,
it's
factory's changing it up,
huge,
bro.
I like it.
All right, here's the question. 5 o'clock hour coming up, and at 5:20 we will talk some Tennessee football with Josh Ward from the Sports Animal at Knoxville. But here's a question for you. The Titans are not playing their starters tomorrow. Would you rest them? Would you play them? You have 3 preseason opportunities for in-game situations against a different opponent. Do you take advantage of that situation or not? 615-737-1045. Take that, Justin Timberlake. We got you. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. This is a perfect weekend for you to get that done. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a long time, or maybe you're just thinking about it now as I talk with you about it. But perfect weekend for you to go visit my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Tell them what you are looking for. Maybe you need less of a payment, better gas mileage, more room in your vehicle. I don't know your situation, and they don't either until you tell them, and then they will point you in the right direction. After that conversation, you go take your test drive, go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Take 24 West toward Clarksville. Exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city. Take that exit, roll into Springfield, Tennessee, and you'll find Gupton there. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out there. Check them out online as well, GuptonMotors.com. All of the dealership inventory is there. All of the deals they have going on, you can check them right there at GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Get it done this weekend. Best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Circa Resort and Casino bringing you the biggest pro football contest in Vegas. Yes, it's back. Circa Survivor and Circa Millionaire. Now up to $16 million in guaranteed prizes combined. You have 2 ways to win, and listen to me very carefully. With Circa Survivor, contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Now, if that team loses or ties, the entry is eliminated, and you can only pick each team once in a season. Last the longest to win it all? Win $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed. Quarterly and full season payouts. The entry that does the worst wins $100,000. You must register at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas, Henderson, or Sparks, Reno. Now, we'll be doing our show live from out there Thursday and Friday. So entries are now open and close September the 7th at 2 p.m. Visit circasports.com for rules and details. Must be 21 and present in Nevada to enter. This is paid for by Circa Resort and Casino.
From the 104.5 The Zone Studios, I'm Joe Honk. Make sure that you continue to listen to 104.5 The Zone on Saturday because Countdown to Kickoff begins at 3 p.m. with Blaine Bishop, B-Hop, as well as Kayla Anderson and Buck Rising. And then we hand it off to Titans Radio beginning at 5 p.m. for Titans pregame with 6 o'clock kick for the Titans and the Seahawks. Marlon Davidson will not be on the field because the defensive lineman has a bicep tear and he is done for the seasons. We found out earlier today that the Titans are working out former Browns defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. Last time you saw him on the field was with the Birmingham Stallions winning a championship in the USFL. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone, 5 o'clock hours here on a Friday in the Music City.
Yeah. And it's hot outside.
I think it's hot in here.
No.
Why
Why are the lights so bright?
I meant to turn them down a little bit, but.
A, it's cold in here.
A.
B, it is perfectly lit in
I
here.
thought you were. It is lit in here. I thought you were calling me an A.
I need to put my sunglasses on.
Your future's so bright. Got to wear shades. Mm-hmm. Don Davenport is here.
What up, Babsy?
Let's go. Happy 5 o'clock hour. Guys, it's Friday. Let's act like it.
Hey,
we're trying to.
Hey.
Me and you were both late to work. It's funny, like, we were sitting in that traffic on 65, and that's a horrible situation, and prayers up to the T-Dot worker that lost his life today on 65. Babsy and I were sitting in the traffic. We were both late, missed the first segment, so Slay and Mariani kept threatening to lock the door. And Zeph was on point with sound effects and everything. But it was interesting because, like, I could see Babs in front of me. Like,
really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm behind this really yellow truck. And she goes, I see it. I see you.
Props to the guy that bought a bright yellow truck.
Easy to spot.
I mean, I
knew
literally
exactly where Mayor was.
Yeah, and so, like, I immediately started saying, like, you go on the lot, and, like, this is the truck you buy? Like, this, right. I mean, you could shoot this thing in the sun, you wouldn't even see it. Babs is here. So is Slay Dog.
I'm in the building.
Wow.
That was a good job, Zach.
I thought I got y'all.
Yeah.
I just tried to get one of y'all.
I'm
That's my
ready
job.
now. I'm ready.
Y'all were on point there.
Yeah.
A lot of preseason football games coming up this weekend. How into it are you?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Most of them are tomorrow.
Jeez.
I think all but one of them.
What's
maybe
going on Sunday?
How into the
preseason games are you?
No, in the Titans one. With no starters.
Oh, I'm in it. Because I want to. This is what I want to see. I understand, like, you jockeying for position for spots.
Jockeying for position.
Yeah, so I need to know what the Jackson are going to do. Karras and Jaquan. Also, I need to know what's going to happen with another guy, Martin Robinson, man. I think it's David Martin Robinson, the tight end.
88.
Yeah, he's been making some plays in practice and in the game.
He blocks well, too.
Yeah. Bryce Oliver is another
Number
one.
80.
Yeah, he's another one.
He's not going to make the team.
Not going to make the team.
53.
And I want to see the corners have a better showing in the game than they did to me in the joint practices. Like, I thought they were solid in practice, but I want to see in the game, can they carry over? Like, stacking days is a thing, and also stacking games. Some people play better when the lights come on. So I think you get more of an opportunity. Will Malik show what he's done? Like, the work.
Malik has been better.
He's been better, but can he continue to keep being better? Or does he take a step back? Does Mason come out when he get his chance and boom?
I did say to a guy on the sideline in the evaluation world, I was like, Malik has really looked better. And he's like, he's not the number 2. I mean, just that matter of factly. I was like, okay. But he gets that start with the number 2 reps, and maybe he can earn his way there. He has been better.
I do have somebody I'm going to have my eye on, though.
Because Babs was skeptical, too. about Malik being better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I used to walk by
and
her
I
when
take it back.
and she took it back.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking by her every time he made a good throw. I'd be like, Babs, you see that? She's like, okay.
Babs didn't like the sidearm.
No.
He's just changing his angle, Babs.
No, because I think it was B-Hop who was like, oh, well, Mahomes has a sidearm. I'm like,
That was a bad comparison.
Come on, B-Hop. I love the positivity.
That was a bad comparison.
yeah, no.
Moonshine left his notes. I'm taking these.
Malik absolutely better.
Notes.
Absolutely
better.
Improved. Still not going to be the backup quarterback. Although I will say Mason Rudolph's first half in that first game was he was trying to open the door for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
He got it right though.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean there's no way that you're going to rely on Malik over a Mason Rudolph who has
started 14 games in the NFL.
Numerous starting experiences.
And won 8 of them.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Help the team get out of the dungeon and get into the playoffs.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean there's not a place for Malik and not more patience for even more development.
You are correct.
Right. And the way it's set up now, most teams will keep 3, right? Like it's set up for you to keep 3 now. So we'll see. I am anxious to see Malik with the 2s, yes. So would you rather them play the starters for a couple of drives again? Or are you good with them resting? And secondarily to that question, what about the rookies? Like J.C. Latham. Would you rather see J.C. Latham out there with some reps against another team? Because, you get 3 opportunities in these preseason games to do that. Now, the joint practices everyone in the league will tell you are more valuable than any preseason game. But I'm just curious what you guys think about that. So you're good with the starters not playing, but what about the rookies?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I wouldn't mind a quarter with seeing T'Vondre Sweat. Wouldn't mind.
Let Sweat get some more work. Let J.C. Latham get some more work.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't mind Latham. Just off of what I saw
at the joint practice.
Yeah, experience did to him.
Like, what did he learn?
Yeah,
how did he take the film study?
Because they got to come back
practices?
to it in the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, that would be one. I'm fine with Skoronski. Now, the other thing, too, is when you start to mix guys in with the ones, it's high. I'm not, if I'm Latham and I'm going to be playing beside Skoronski, I got something with him. You know what I mean? I got some gelling with him already. You know what I mean? We're in sync a little bit. So when you put somebody else right there that I know I'm not going to be with, it's kind of like, what are we doing right here, man? You know what I'm saying? It's just individual. Okay, if I'm used to handing somebody off to Skoronski and going somewhere else with it, and that's not happening with the guy next to me, does that make me look bad? Whose fault is it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm torn a little bit in that. But as far as just flat out reps, I'm all for them getting reps, man.
615-737-1045. Kenny the mailman next up on 3HL.
Kenny.
Hello, good friends.
Hi.
I've got some great information for you to watch tomorrow night if the game doesn't get out of hand or anything. Are y'all ready for this?
Yes, sir.
The Titans have went around to sort of liven up the action. They've filmed some commercials around town. Ron?
Mm-hmm.
They stepped into Gabby's, and Gabby's put on a show for them at his restaurant. My son Jack, if he had his way, he would become the new Crazy George. Do y'all remember Crazy George?
Yeah, from the Houston Oilers, yes.
Yeah, and they asked him, they said, can you cheer? He said, y'all can go home and rest and come back, and I'll be on the same cheer. So he is ready. I took him to a lot of Vandy games when he was growing up. He didn't get to cheer or even clap his hands much, so he's got a lot saved up.
Yeah, got a lot.
So he can go and go and go, kind of like Juice WRLD with his freestyle.
But he really, really is excited. He called us the other night. So y'all be watching the scoreboard for some of the new commercials.
Yep.
Love it. Thank you,
Kenny,
hey,
man.
y'all have a great evening.
Man,
Appreciate y'all.
shout out to Gabby's, too. I just went over there for lunch. Jack did tell me that. The whole staff told me that, man. They always show up. Man, I love them. Oh, I love them. Man, ain't no best burger. Ain't a burger better in town than that Gabby's. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ooh. And they got a secret menu.
What does Greer Stadium look like when you drive by there?
Just a lot.
Is it like overgrown weeds and stuff?
Yep, and some need to be in that lot.
The bleachers still over there?
Nope, all of us.
It's all torn down?
Mm-hmm. Even the big guitar gone. They moved the big guitar. What is going on with your words, boy? The G's and the B's. They moved the big guitar.
You're talking to yourself.
The G's and the
Third person.
Gabby's.
Yeah, there's too much going on. They moved the big guitar down the street, probably about a half a block, and so it's still there. That's pretty dope. But yeah, that was a staple of Nashville, man. The big guitar.
Dewey Christian and
I don't know what's going on, man.
Dewey Cheatham and Hal, Crazy George. Wow, that was a pull.
It was.
Crazy George was like a super fan for the Oilers that would run around beating a drum.
Well, I feel like I'm a Crazy George sometimes. I ain't even at the game. I could be in here. Crazy George of the Zone.
Crazy George of the Zone.
Another G.
You and your BG words.
They're just all over me today.
615-737-1045 at the retail 1045. Hoyt in Minnesota next up on the retail. Hoyt.
Hey, guys, I wanted to point something out about Mason Rudolph. He is not the first Middle Tennessee professional athlete named Mason Rudolph.
Who was the other?
He was a professional golfer. He turned professional in 1958.
Oh,
He
gosh.
won 5 PGA Tour championships.
Wow.
He was 4th in the Masters in 1965, tied for 3rd in the PGA Championship in 1973, and tied for 8th in the U.S. Open in 1966.
So somebody
Dang.
needs to go tell Mason
Successful.
Rudolph that he needs to work harder.
This one?
I think
Yeah.
he's the second most famous guy.
No,
You guys are too young to remember it.
I don't
That's
remember.
what I was going to say.
I don't.
That was before my time, but Dewey in the chat said Mason Rudolph was a terrific golfer.
That's awesome.
I was going to ask, how'd you know all of those stats? Like, that's phenomenal to me.
There's this thing called Google.
Boy, you just got hoited.
What?
Here it is.
Hey,
I just found him.
Hoyt, at what point will you start dealing with snow in Minnesota?
He's got a golf course named after him.
Really?
Yeah. In Clarksville. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
So late. Last year it didn't snow hardly at all.
Really?
I only had to have my driveway cleaned plowed one time.
Man, we were up there one time. We were up there one time, and the high temperature was -3. I'm like, it don't even get above 0 today. What are we doing? I'm not leaving the Mall of America.
I moved here in January of 2019, and my third night here, the wind chill was 50 below 0.
Were you rethinking your decision?
It's an adventure, man. Life is an adventure. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hoyt. Minnesota. Soda. Go Gophers.
No, so
There's something about Babs' Fargo accent.
I like it.
Have you even seen that movie, Fargo?
That is.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay.
Listen, my list is too long. Stop.
No, dude. Steve Buscemi. Goodness. And all the accents in that film.
What was it? Mr. Babs was watching Goodfellas yesterday because I was like, is this
Don't you put
Godfather?
no OW on it.
He's like, no.
Don't you put no OWS on it.
Well, I thought it was Godfather or whatever.
Goodfellas.
What did I call it?
Goodfellows.
Whatever.
See, no, no. I'm telling you right now.
GFers.
I'm telling you right now. What I'm gonna do is we're going to Vegas next week. I'm gonna find a way to lock you in a room, and you're gonna have to watch one of these movies, Babs, or you don't get to do no gambling.
No, that is nope.
Tight.
Nope.
X that one.
I will fight you. You will put me in jail in Vegas because I will publicly fight
Slay
you.
dog. I love you like a brother.
Yeah.
She got you. She got you.
I ain't gonna. You see, I didn't even fight that one.
You can't hold me.
Like, all right.
You can't hold me back from the tables.
Like, all right, okay, you got it.
I mean, you did a good job last time in Vegas.
And guess what, though?
Mama kept wanting to go back to the tables after we got home.
I'm going with on this one. You know why? Because they say in old Vegas, you more likely to win.
And also, the minimums are usually better.
Like
Table
we got to start at
minimums are better.
75.
You know what she should watch? We could lock her in and let her watch Casino.
Why don't I watch it on the flight? There.
After the show?
We can't watch it together.
Yeah, that's the thing, Babs. We need to be together in this. Solidarity.
Right.
You fist
I
bumped when
tried.
you said that.
Yeah, it's us. It's
Us against the world. And Casino.
Hey,
Or Goodfellas.
One more thing, though.
There is a ventriloquist out there in Vegas. Y'all want to go watch?
Hell no. We got one sitting in this room. Josh Ward coming up next. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Volunteers. There was a scrimmage yesterday. And as you said in the first segment, Nico didn't play because of a stomach bug.
Oh.
Y'all, would you rather have a head cold or like a stomach issue?
Man.
Head cold every day. Head cold.
I can't even remember the last time I threw up.
Although I'm just.
I think it's been decades.
Stomach flew away from my goal weight.
One stomach. Slay, you okay over there?
Hey, man, Babs is crazy. I thought she was going to say any kind of show. I didn't think she was going to
Imagine the social media, us sitting in a ventriloquist show.
What are we doing?
They're good.
Tennessee football talk next. Josh Ward.
All righty, people. Now, power is known to go out, especially down here in this region that we're in, man. So we got an opportunity for you to get involved with keeping your power on and staying connected through it all. Never lose power again. How? With Cove Generators. Generatic automatic standby generators on deck. All you got to do is call Generator Dave and hit him up and tell him, hey, who do you know, Babsy?
I know Slay. I know
Yes.
Babs.
Yes.
I know The Zone.
That's right.
I know 3HL.
What do you get?
Boom, $500 off
Hello.
your purchase. Yes, Generator Dave will take care of you, the expert on everything generators. And Cove Generators is your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. So make sure you're prepared, obviously, for winter coming up. Make sure you're prepared. We ended up losing, not because of a power outage, but just because our outdoor fridge went out and we lost so much food. You don't ever want that to happen to your family, so make sure you call Cove Generators right now for a Generac home standby generator dealer. 931-559-3311, Cove, COVE, generators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Interesting break. Slay learning how to do TikTok. You got it down now?
I think so. I just followed 3HL.
Okay.
I'm following us.
So 3HL is on TikTok.
Didn't go on there, Zelf. Nope.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, it doesn't go on your main profile. It goes under your reposts.
I want it on my main profile. Is everybody gonna see
I'll
me
send you the
repost
raw
it?
video and you can post it again.
This is Taylor Lewan dancing with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got one with Moonshine now.
There you go.
That's going to be the new thing.
It's the new style. You want to talk some Tennessee football?
I've been dying to.
Some UT football?
Give it to me, baby.
Josh Ward joins us from the Sports Animal in Knoxville. Josh, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you. Talk to you all. I saw the Taylor Lewan stuff talking Titans. Are you sure you don't want to get him back on to talk about the Vols with Slay? Because that'll get you to 16-0 real quick.
My head might
football
pop
too.
My head might pop, Josh. I don't need my head popping.
He does love Tony Vitello. He's all in on Vol baseball.
Yeah. He's on a long list of people that love Tony Vitello, especially right now with what's happening.
Except for Rory McIlroy. I mean, Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy. Wait, Rory McIlroy doesn't like Tony Vitello? What the hell happened there?
What's his name? Why did I just call him?
Yeah, Greg maybe we're
Greg,
looking for here.
Thank you. Except for Greg McElroy.
Yeah.
Welcome to 3HL on a Friday, Josh, at 5:30 in the afternoon.
For those that don't know, remember Greg McElroy went on the whole rant about Tony Vitello saying that he doesn't win classfully.
Yes, he did say, and then he picked Tennessee to win the SEC or something, didn't he? It was something, I don't know.
Well, we've gotten a lot of conspiracies sent to us because Greg has been very high on Tennessee's football team. He hasn't preseason top 10. I'm not sure about like championship picks or anything like that, but his preseason poll had Tennessee in the top 10. And he talked about Nico and his potential. If he maxes out, then Tennessee becomes a national title contender. But the response we got in Knoxville was, don't want to hear it. It's too late. But I do think that's his honest opinion because if you look at Nico and his potential, it's very easy to see what that could mean for Tennessee.
Yes.
Josh
Although
Ward
you
with
didn't
us.
see him in the scrimmage, right?
No, he had, bubble guts or something?
Yeah, he was under the weather for sure. So, yeah, he woke up before scrimmage number 2, which I don't think was as full-fledged a scrimmage as what took place last week. Last Friday they had a scrimmage, and I think that was more typical. They did a lot of situational stuff. Guys were sitting out again. They've had guys out in both scrimmages in different positions. They got some more offensive linemen in the second scrimmage, which was important.
Who's going to win that left guard job?
Well, if he's healthy and ready to go, I think it's Andre Carrick, the transfer from Texas. I think what makes them feel as comfortable as they can going in when you're still having a position battle 2 weeks out is that Jackson Lampley is a guy that's been a part of the program. He's played on this offensive line with this staff now, entering his 4th year, and he's been a part of Tennessee's program longer than that. He's played. He knows the system. So if it's not Carrick, I think it's Lampley, but I think Carrick is the favorite if he's healthy, but that's been part of the issue. He missed a lot of time last year. He's missed part of camp. He's not been at full speed really for a long period of time since he arrived from Texas. But if he's healthy in 2 weeks, I think he's probably the left guard.
Yeah, Jackson obviously from here, I mean, he's a savage on the field and started the bowl game and played exceptionally well. So I think they would probably feel good if he was the starter. But that is one position battle. Let's talk about the defense. We sat down, as you guys did, with Josh Heupel at SEC Media Days, and Dawn asked him about the defense, like now compared to when he got to Tennessee. And he lowered his head, Josh, and kind of took a deep breath and then came back up and he said, you have no idea how much farther along we are on defense. And he really sounded like, because he's, people that do what we do talk about Tennessee's offense because of Josh Heupel and all of those things. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on how good this defense might be. Obvious concern in the secondary.
Yeah, secondary is the biggest question, but there are several areas where we could point to and say that's why Josh Heupel is signed the way that he is and thankful to be in the position he is now compared to 3 years ago. So at linebacker, they have Keenan Peely to lead the way. That's leadership that they've just been looking for, and they hope to have last year and he, of course, missed almost all of the season. Started the first game, and then that was it. And then a guy like Arion Carter. So when they dealt with injury issues or players being unavailable 2 or 3 years ago, they had some players available, but not necessarily guys that they were really comfortable putting in to big spots in SEC games. Now they have Arion Carter, who's a year older, who they beat out Alabama to get, and Jeremiah Telander, another second-year guy that they really like and what he can become. So health is still a factor there. They need to keep those guys healthy because depth could be tested. And they like Spillman a lot, a freshman that has a ton of talent, but he's a freshman. So if they can get deeper into the season, they're probably more comfortable with the depth. The defensive line is what's such a big difference. They have depth that would make just about every school in the country envious. And when you have that on the defensive line, especially in this conference, you have a chance against just about everybody. And they have an elite player in James Pierce Jr. They have several NFL prospects. I think Omar Norman-Lott is starting to get some talk, but I think he's overlooked just because it's easy to do that with interior defensive linemen. But it's not just look at the depth chart and there are a bunch of guys there. There are a bunch of guys that I think Rodney Garner and Tim Banks are legitimately comfortable playing in a rotation on a regular basis. That will help them game in, game out. That will help them over the course of the season.
Another guy, man, I happened to read an article about him, Josephs. Is it Joshua Joseph? Is that
Joshua Josephs, yeah.
Yeah, man, this young man here seems to – I'm all for being able to look in the mirror and give yourself a self-check. And in that article, that's what it seemed he did. He was speaking about how, in a sense, he felt a little jealous of what James Pierce was getting, knowing that he was ranked ahead coming into it. Things didn't go how he wanted to, but he seems to be in a better place. Speak about what he can bring to this team because we know the talent. And when he was coming in, he was highly touted. He just didn't live up to it last year. He had a good year first year. Last year was a little rocky. But now being able to set back into it, expecting some big things out of him?
Yeah, Josephs is a guy that 2 years ago as a freshman, you couldn't tell that James Pierce was going to explode in year two and pass Josephs the way that he did. Josephs looked like a guy that, okay, he might be the next one up. We know what Pierce ended up doing last year in the position he's in now. But knowing that every team is going to be focused on James Pierce Jr., that creates opportunities for others. Tyler Barron is gone. He's at Miami now. So who can step up? I think Tyree West is one of those guys. He has big goals. He told us on the show several weeks ago, personally, he wants to go get 10 sacks himself this year, and I don't know that he's going to do that. That speaks to his mindset. Josephs is a guy that last year, the way things went and what he told us, there are a lot of players that would have transferred out and said, okay, this isn't the place for me. I'm going to go find my spot. And guys can do that, and it can work out just fine for them. Josephs had the mindset of, okay, well, I'm still going to get this opportunity. If I work this offseason, I can be the next guy up that can put up numbers in this defense the way that we're going to try to attack. And the reason that I believe what he said is true in terms of his mindset has changed is he had this clip, we played it a couple times because it was great, talking about all of his defensive line teammates and how impressed he is by what they're doing on the interior and on the edge. And he became kind of like the unofficial hype man of the defensive lines. So I think that's also a sign of how he's grown, and he recognizes it's everybody coming together. And Josephs is going to have a chance to play his part. I'm not going to sit here and predict he becomes James Pierce. That would be unfair. But if he can be a regular guy that has an ability to get after the quarterback, that's what can take this defense to the level the coaches believe that they can get to, where Tim Banks was talking about having the best defensive line in the country during the spring.
When you look at it on the offensive side of the ball, man, when you go into this receiver room, like you think back to when Josh Heupel first got there, you had the Hyatts, Velus Jones, a lot of guys. Javonte Payton was a guy that transferred in, but one injury and it would kind of be looking at it the way you kind of looked at it last year, like, oh, it starts scratching your head, and what are we going to do? Doesn't seem to be the problem. How do you get all these guys with all of this talent on the field when you're known to play, 3-4 receivers and kind of stay with it because of the tempo?
Yeah, we get the question almost every day. Is Tennessee going to play more than the 3 to 4 guys we typically think of? Will they really go 6 deep with players? And listeners, fans, Tennessee fans want to know what Swain thinks about that naturally, former Tennessee wide receiver. His opinion has been, I think that they probably will, because guys to this point seem to be showing that they have earned the opportunity. Now, there's always let's see, will coaches do that once they get into a big game? When they get to NC State, if it's a close game for 4 quarters, Oklahoma on the road, Are they comfortable playing 5 or 6 guys, or do they shorten that rotation again with the guys that they believe are the best and they trust the most? What I do believe through fall camp is that Brew McCoy looks back and ready to go. He took the non-contact jersey off during some of the scrimmage work on Thursday. That's a really good sign. You know Squirrel White is going to play. Chris Brazzell has come in and has backed up, I think, some of the offseason talk about his playmaking ability. A guy to watch to see, can he keep this going, is Dante Thornton. Looked really good on Thursday at the scrimmage. We know about his athletic ability. Last season was a disappointment, but he's probably in a more comfortable position this year. He's another example of, hey, things didn't go great last year, but he put the work in the offseason. His best play of the season was his final one when he got injured with the touchdown against Missouri. So if Thornton can continue what coaches see in him, Chaz Nimrod is another player that has impressed a lot of people. There are a lot of guys that have shown coaches they belong on the field. They'll get a chance early in the season. If they make plays then I think it's real that the rotation will be deeper at wide receiver.
Yeah, it is deep. And then Mike Matthews, a freshman. What do you know about him? What have you seen from him?
Yeah, they love him. He looked really good in the spring. He showed up looking like the guy that had 4 or 5 stars next to his name. He was slow at the start of camp due to injury, so he's kind of had to work his way back there, but nobody's doubting his ability. And the other guys we're talking about makes it easier where there's not a lot of pressure on him right away. So we'll see early in the season versus as the season goes along, but if healthy, he's going to push to be on the field. And then Nathan Laycock is another guy that a year ago was a player. He rose in the rankings as a senior in high school. They loved him as a signee, didn't have the freshman year that they hoped, and he never really challenged even when they dealt with injuries a year ago. Nathan couldn't get on the field. Last week, Kelsey Pope praised him for catching 12 to 13,000 balls and he's been impressive too. So that's an example. I think everybody getting better has made the competition more legitimate. There wasn't competition last year. Dante Thornton showed up and he's playing. Yeah. And he might play this year, but that's because he will have beaten out other players who have done well in camp to be on the field in September and beyond.
Josh Ward with us from the Sports Animal in Knoxville talking Tennessee football.
Real quick on the way out, Josh, we have kind of talked a little bit about the new helmet communication system, and, you know, how will that affect the Vols and the way they do things offensively? Have they worked with it during the scrimmages? What has Heupel kind of said about it?
They have worked on it, and that's why part of the scrimmage on Thursday, it's, you know, the 11-on-11 work, but it's also game day stuff and the communication part of things. So they have worked on it. It's a really good question. I don't know what the answer is. Our opinion has kind of been, well, so Tennessee's going to go really fast. They're not going to be overloading Nico with a ton of information, but reminders, watch the corner here, the safety with what we talked about with what this play is going to be, something that can quickly be relayed to his teammates if possible, because Tennessee's going to be going so fast. But he is a young quarterback. He is still in that developmental phase where they want him to be as comfortable as possible with what they're doing as quickly as possible. So quick information that he can use as they go as fast as they can. It's not going to be information overload on a young quarterback who's still trying to figure everything out for himself, making his second career start in the season opener.
Great stuff, Josh. Thanks for hopping on, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see you.
You got it. You too, guys. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Josh.
And when I say good to see him, we can see him on the Zone TV. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
You can watch the show live there. More 3HL next on 104.5 The Zone.
Huge. What's happening in Wesley Mortgage is what you need to slide into when you're thinking about the mortgage business and some of the top talent. Who does it go with? It goes with whywesley.com is where you go to the location. But Wesley Mortgage is the team. That's the team that's going to have the support around you in place, ready to help you succeed in the mortgage business. Also insuring your loans, which is something that's key. Making sure they close on time. Making sure you get paid. Who doesn't love to get paid? And giving back you the time at building your business and bringing back the fun of the mortgage profession. Now, with unique networking opportunities with the Tennessee Titans, Music City Grand Prix, and the Nashville Predators, you know that doesn't hurt at all. Be right there in the suite with multiple realtors and mortgage events throughout the year. They make closing deals and building relationships fun again. So if you're in the mortgage industry and you're tired of the grind, tired of the pressure, tired of micromanaging everything, Get with YWesley.com for a confidential rise to the top, baby. Wesley Mortgage, YWesley.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. You got your B's and G's down?
I think I'm getting it together as we get ready to roll out.
I like how you got lost and found the factory.
Dude, I really did. I was looking over to the left. I was like, that's got to be the factory that everybody keep talking about. It looked like some old factories. A lot of brick buildings.
I mean, it's so cool in there.
I bet.
They got a theater and everything.
A big old parking lot, too. I want to get over there and get some Hattie B's.
I can't wait till that headphone noise is gone.
Next Monday, people. Next Monday.
Hey, it is. She got it.
Yeah, it'll stay like this for 2 minutes and then it'll pop out.
That's what she does to make that noise every time she puts them on.
Fixing it up.
It's so annoying.
Zeph, you working at Cracker Barrel in Murfreesboro this weekend?
I'll be there.
Doing what? Making what? Do you know?
Tomorrow I'll be making biscuits. Sunday morning I'll probably be flipping eggs.
What time you gonna be making biscuits? Like what time you get there? About 4?
Well, I'm scheduled to open tomorrow, but I'm giving that shift away. Or I'm changing end times. I'm giving my buddy the open shift. I'm coming in at 7.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Is there a secret menu at Cracker Barrel that we need to know about?
No.
There's not.
No.
No, not.
Well, way to just crush our hopes and
Like
dreams.
in North Italia, it's not on the menu, but you can get fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah, no. The secret menu at Cracker Barrel is just bacon and cheese smothered on everything, but that's already the entire menu. So
Smothered on everything.
What's your favorite menu item at Cracker Barrel?
I like the chicken and dumplings. Classic.
Oh, I love those.
Wow, Bev. Woo, she got excited.
It's classic.
I know.
They're good.
So
they're not.
It's hearty.
It's not too much.
It's not too much chicken.
Or cheese or bacon. I mean, literally all their new items are just covered in cheese and bacon. I don't want that. Also, they're doing a new fall promo, ribs.
What?
Yeah, ribs. They're not. Slate, you're gonna be disappointed. But if you go into the mindset, if you go into the mindset that they're Cracker Barrel ribs, they're not as bad then. But if you go in expecting ribs, you're gonna be disappointed. Sorry, Slate. Hate to tell you that.
So what should we stay away from on that menu?
Sound like the ribs.
Or should you not say that?
I mean, there's nothing you should. I don't really like the catfish.
I like the fried catfish.
I like catfish, but I don't really like Cracker Barrel catfish. Or the trout.
I mean, that's fair.
That is.
So, do you
Going
bring
to Cracker Barrel for
food
ribs.
home every day after your shift? Like, I used to work On the Border, and I would bring chips and queso and salsa home every day.
I am technically not supposed to take food, so my answer right now would be no.
Got it.
Well, you can pay for it, right? If you wanted to.
If I pay for food, I can have it. But
Yes.
okay. The food that I do eat, I don't pay for. So sorry, Keith.
So at Papa John, I worked at. Sorry, Keith. Keith has become
listens,
a fixture.
by the way.
I know he does.
He definitely listens. What up, Keith?
So I worked at Papa John's delivering pizza. I loved that job. I loved delivering pizza. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. In your car, listening to music, delivering pizza, making people happy. They're happy when you show up at their door.
That's
Absolutely.
true. Only if you don't
Sure.
take forever.
Right.
Unless you're late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a good tip.
And I did it when there were no cell phones. So, like, we had a gigantic map in the Papa John's in
I
Green
remember
Hills.
those days.
And so you had to take quarters because if you got lost, you'd have to call them from a payphone, these things that existed back in the day.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And so, but it was fun. But I would take home, I would make cheese sticks, but put toppings on them.
Boy.
I make cheese sticks with the garlic butter and put pepperoni and sausage and extra cheese
I
all
hope
over
y'all
it.
listen to this Papa John's Pizza Hut, everybody.
I have
They
made
can sell the crap out of that.
Hell yeah.
I have made like myself like a personal pizza out of like biscuit and dumpling dough in the back, like a barbecue. Because I mean they don't have like
That's a
pizza
sandwich.
sauce and stuff, but I made like a barbecue chicken pizza, like in our little biscuit oven. I rolled out.
No wonder my biscuit came out smelling like pepperoni before.
Well, we don't have pepperoni. No. It'd be barbecue. Barbecue sauce is the sauce. The Colby Jack cheese, some shredded chicken.
Ricky on YouTube. Dawn pumped about them dumplings.
Chicken and dumplings, baby.
I did get a little too
This one,
excited.
too.
Hey, I make some good dumplings. I'll tell you that.
Ooh,
Captain Tripp says, don't get this man fired.
I know, right?
Oh, we might
I've been
be
there for
trying to.
7 years. If I was gonna get fired, it would have been a long time ago.
Yeah,
I thought it was longer than that, actually.
Yeah.
2017. My first year there.
You did cut when you took this role. You did cut back from the every day.
That is correct.
Just took the weekends.
That is correct.
And when asked why do you still do the weekends, you said, "What the hell else am I going to do?"
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll work from 7 to 12 there, and then I'm going to go home, shower real quick, and then make my way up here.
You went to the Wilson County Fair last night, didn't you?
I did.
How was that?
It was good.
It's a great fair.
Busy.
It's the big one.
It was busy. Well, it's because last night was the first night it was open, and it's dollar ride night.
Oh, that's huge.
So typically, like each of the ride are like their own like number of credits, like 6 or 10 or 5, whatever. Everything was $1.
Is that considered the state fair now?
No,
the Wilson County Fair.
The one up in Lebanon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
Them are too crowded. Yeah, that's the one. It's
considered the state fair.
It's definitely the best.
Because when we were kids, we used to run around down here by the Speedway and all that.
Yeah, Nashville, yeah.
Now, we were waiting in line.
They don't have that anymore.
I ain't seen it, nope.
We were waiting in line for one of the
I
rides.
got jumped over there.
And like we were going to be the next group up.
Wait.
And there was already a group on it. And then they were like, "Oh, sorry, ride's broken. But if you come back, we'll give you a ride for free." And so we left and went to another ride. And while we were in line for the other ride, like in the middle of the line, that one opened up. And I mean, it filled up instantly. The line went right back as long as it was when we were standing.
I want to go back to almost got jumped.
Well, I think the music's going to come on any moment now. I did almost get jumped.
Yeah, but how does it go from like usually if you're almost going to get jumped, you're getting jumped.
Yeah, it was about 15 of them. I pushed one, ran, and then hid. Then I saw him walking by, and then I ran to my car. I didn't have a license to be driving.
Oh, geez. Statute of limitations.
Well, you've had some stories today.
I'm telling you, man.
There's so much more to that story, too.
It is. It's a whole lot. That's when it was a little rival between Joe Johnson and West Nashville. It was going on right there. I got caught out of bounds a little bit. Well, it was in South Nashville. I really went out of bounds. It wasn't enough for us.
Your numbers were low.
It was real low, and I got surrounded. I don't know how I got surrounded.
How'd you get surrounded?
I don't know.
You didn't have your head on a swivel.
Man, nah,
Head on a swivel, Slay.
Yep. I know how to get out of it. Swing, push, hide.
By the way, one of our listeners' wife works at Cracker Barrel Corporate.
Hey.
He said, "Let me know if I need to pull some strings, dog."
Okay.
Tell her to give me a raise.
Strings for what? That ain't later around.
Who you looking for?
It's like stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Swing, run, and hide.
Yeah. Until you see the clip, then run again.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you making us a part of your day. We do not take that for granted. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless you're Tajay Spears, Traylon Burks, or
Ribs at Cracker Barrel?
Damn. That's it.
Unexpected.